No game is expensive. No worries.
Yep, that it is.
Yep. Oh. Stream went down, stream's back up. Had to reset my stream backwards. There we go. Alright, first train, go down. Oh. Nope, missed it. Why does it jump so hard?
I like how every time you died, your little like 7-Up dude is like, yeah.
Yes, for everything.
When
Gets
it
hit.
gets up.
Anything. Get punched. Get excited. The sound for him being shot by a robot and the sound for him saving his friend are the same. It's not very expressive. It's where that first checkpoint is like accelerated. Like the music is much faster. Come on, J-Block, work with me.
So the sequel to Cool Spot is Spot Goes to Hollywood, made for the Mega Drive, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation.
Saturn. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, watch here.
It was made for the Mega Drive in 1995. Isn't that kind of late for Mega Drive games?
Yeah, that's pretty late for, well, Genesis games too.
Well, that's, yeah, pretty late. Because it was released for Sega Saturn in 96, just a year later. So at that point, let's see, 96.
I don't find a gameplay video of that. This is
Saturn.
a 3D, 2D dot.
Mm-hmm.
Locomotive.
Now Spot the video game, that was NES and Game Boy, and apparently also Amiga, Atari, and DOS. But this is the strategy game, right? This is the puzzle game?
The Othello.
Othello, yeah.
Like Othello, almost. That's pretty cool.
I think I've seen this one. I forget, I've seen someone streaming this.
I think Mr. K has done this.
Has done Cool Spot.
Yeah, Mr. K has worked on Cool Spot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did he do it at a GDQ?
If he did, it was at like 2013 or something.
Right, I thought this was quite a while back.
Oh, the fail jump. That's right. Not the end.
Yeah, at the very least has not been in the past several years, because I don't believe K has been to a GDQ in quite some time, sadly.
I see Spot the Cool Adventure for the Game Boy, and this is a game I've never seen before, but looking at videos of it, it looks pretty neat.
You know, this game looks neat too from videos.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I can find out if this Game Boy game's any good. I can make some people play it on SGL.
True. Miss all the spots. Knock off shout. spot's still there.
Yeah, this Game Boy game looks fantastic. It's really simple platforming, and there's picking up blocks and throwing them, so I guess there's some like Chippendale kind of aspect to it. Springboards, moving platforms. Yeah, this looks good.
One way to find out.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably something horrible about the controls that we can't tell from watching, but...
Yeah, A button probably grabs blocks, throws blocks, jumps, and activates items. System constraints.
Well, we're getting down towards the end of practice, just a minute left.
Oh boy.
How does... There we go. Oop, jeez. There we go. There we go.
Alright, we're going to switch over to Metal Warriors. I'm going to put 30 minutes up here on the clock.
Alright.
Well, while those guys are switching over, I'd like to welcome everyone to Speed Gaming League. This is episode 6 of our second season here. We've got, well, we had 3 players, Error72 and Mikey. Unfortunately, Mikey smashed his thumb during practice by accident. Trying to fix his chair, he ended up smashing his thumb, so he is out for at least the first match, possibly the whole thing. We'll have to see what happens. But these other 2 players here, Error72 and the Theseawolf, you should definitely be familiar with if you've watched SGL before.
Ew.
Still salty.
Still so.
We also got OmniGamer with us today. He's an expert in Metal Warriors, among many other Super Nintendo games. Hi, Omni.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Okay.
Good to be here.
Cool. Well, I hope that you're impressed by what you see from these guys. This is actually a kind of an unusual format this week. We didn't manage to line our players up until kind of late in the week, so we gave these guys not very much time at all to practice this gold Metal Warriors that you're going to see here. But fortunately, it's a relatively straightforward goal, at least as far as Metal Warriors levels go. But they're going to be doing the first 2 levels here. And then after that, we're going to do Cool Spot in match 2. You saw them practicing for the past hour, practicing Cool Spot. That's going to be our mystery game. And the third match is going to be back to Metal Warriors again, except we're going to do another mystery match format, like an hour-long practice format with the second Metal Warriors goal. So we'll reveal what that goal is as we get later in the episode. So
it's going to be just like the first goal.
basically, except an hour as opposed to a couple hours. But,
Oh, shoot.
well, you didn't have to play. You didn't have to play XCOM. It was your choice.
Right. My bad.
It's your choice, man. But But anyway, we're getting set up here, but if you've never joined us before, what we do on SGL is we take a game that players haven't had any speedrun experience with before, so they're starting from scratch. We give them a limited amount of time to put together a route and practice it, and then we see what kind of times they can get with only a half an hour to do attempts. And as each of these players finishes one of their runs, they're going to send that input recording. They're playing on emulator. They'll send that input recording to us and our official timing referee, who is Arcano, here in the call. How you doing, Arcano?
I'm doing good.
Good to hear it. Arcano has been with us since the start here. He times these runs, plays them back in emulator, and gets the exact timing down to the frame, which you're going to see appear in this box at the top of the screen. And at the end of 30 minutes, we'll see which of these players has the best PB. So it looks like these guys are ready to go. Shall we start?
Right up. Sounds good.
Okie doke. Well, here comes the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. And they're off. So, goal here is stages 1 and 2. And these are pretty tricky stages. This is a pretty tough game to get used to. I had a real hard time playing through this my first time. And it's a lot to take in. But pretty complex, and hopefully OmniGamer can talk us through a little bit about how the controls work and really what you do in this game.
Right, so this, if you've ever played or seen Cybernator, a lot of people instantly kind of associated with that. It's actually very different companies that worked on either game, but it's the same general concept. You've got this mech that you go around and you can pick up kind of power-ups and also swap to other mechs throughout different stages. These first two, though, these first two stages is kind of like getting your feet wet into the concept. And what that means is that they throw you right into the fire. The first stages are not trivial by any means. And one of the main challenges with trying to run this game is simply that enemies are constantly getting in your way. You're having to manipulate them in addition to both controlling your speed throughout a lot of different sequences, and you're also tied a little bit to what weapons you're able to get from these boxes. These are random drop boxes most of the time, so you do have to be aware of how you can use the different ones to your advantage.
Yeah.
So you've got a basic weapon, and that's a gun that you can upgrade to different kinds, and you also have some missiles.
Right. So without any bonus stuff, your general move repertoire is you've got this gun that you control. It's entirely directional, so you have to balance both moving forward to straighten out your gun with pressing up or down to aim it however you want. So that's a little challenging in itself. You also have this melee attack, and the melee attack is a very different source of damage. So whereas your gun will do damage per hit, your sword will do damage per frame that it's connecting with an enemy. So it's very useful to make sure you wind up in a good place for it. In addition to that, you can pick up a variety of kind of utility or bonus weapons from these random crates. And for the most part, throughout much of the game, the one thing that you want is rockets. And you have about, let's just call it 30% chance to get rockets.
Oh, crushed.
Right, we see Error right now
That
crushing
guy
some
had
stuff.
my number.
Yeah,
Rockets there.
I can talk a lot about
Holy
that
cow.
specific guy.
He's a monster.
Yep, there he goes. Just that one guy.
Really
Well, you're
doesn't
pretty
care.
vulnerable when you're flying out of your
Oh,
mech.
you're wide open, but that guy just usually take 10 hits.
Yeah, so in addition to
Baldy.
going around in your mech, you can get out. And, well, then you have to get through the gauntlet in Stage 2 especially. But there's... manipulating the enemies in that situation is pretty difficult, too.
Error gets one that dies right there at the end, just inches from the end of that level. That's brutal. See, watching your speedrun of it, that part looked really easy, right? You just get out and you zip right to the end. Nothing stops you.
I think I'm good to go on this at least.
Hey.
So you can probably pull me back up
Wanna
on the
hop in?
stream.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
wanna
good. I'm glad to see that.
You just wanted to quit playing Cool Spot. Don't worry.
Oh no, this finger's no problem. does not look pretty, and it's a little numb in the tip, so I might have to go to the doctor a bit later on, but there's not a whole lot that can be done about it right now, so...
So you're gonna focus on the
It's
important
swelling,
stuff,
I
like
can bend the
SGL.
finger, it's nothing major.
Alright, is your stream up still?
It should be.
Okay, that's cool. I'll set it up.
All right. So some notes to go through just as you're watching this first stage as well as stage 2. You're very much stopped at a variety of points in this first stage by these platforms that are going to be raising and lowering throughout, as well as you're waiting for certain enemies to blast holes through different things. And one of the things that is both nice and really annoying about this game is that your surroundings in general are destructible. So, like these tanks of O2 that would normally just be, oh yeah, that's just part of the background. No, you can blow those up so long as you have a rocket launcher. Is kind of the requirement, or you can wait for an enemy to do it for you, and that's the difference in strategies there. The same thing in number 2.
No.
In stage 2, all of the missiles that you see, you can shoot right through them and just kind of go for it. So you can come up with a variety of routes depending on what you actually end up getting, whether you get rockets, whether you don't, and continue on from there. I heard at least one other person was looking forward to trying to get Speed Booster, which, if I remember right, is a little less likely to get than rockets. But Speed Booster will make you fire faster, makes you move faster, makes your Vernier fire faster. So so long as you're comfortable with using it in different situations and you can use it well, it can help out. But in some cases, it can actually hurt you because you won't be getting the consistency of hits that you want. Oh my gosh! So something about I believe it's Error's screen that you were just seeing a moment ago. When you hit those mines, they will push you back, but the direction they push you back is effectively random. And there's really not a good way to control that. Sometimes they'll boost you in just the way you want, other times it's a real nightmare and they can bounce you around between them. So that's something that you have to account for in not only these stages, but a bunch of stages later on.
How that rocket not like destroy all that? Weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of other subtle movement tricks. A lot of it is basing your position around what you expect the enemies to do and kind of working from there. However, you can get these gun upgrades, which you can see, I'm pretty sure that's Error, just picked up the homing gun, which is awful. I'm really sorry. It does less damage than the regular shot, and it just kind of wanders around aimlessly. So,
In that case, I'm resetting.
That's what I do.
Yeah, this bubble gun. This is what I ended up with when I was trying to play through earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a really bad day if you're forced to wind up with that.
Yeah.
Your other options, at least from these random ones, you can get what's called bounce, which is also really bad, but it fires straight and bounces off the walls. Either one you don't particularly want. There's also levels 2, 3, and 4, and
Nice name.
they basically function as your original set. It's just they get a little more powerful each time. With the exception of when you get to 3, they start to progress through, for example, when they start to shoot through some of these bits of platform to try and get through them, the 3 and 4 shot will just go straight through that and continue to break ground as they go. So that's really good to get, but I don't believe you can get 3 from a random drop, only 2. And then 4 is only in like 1 or 2 stages in the whole game, so yeah, that's not going to happen.
So the aim on the gun is incremental, right? You don't instantly change directions. It's got some number of ticks that it has to go through.
Right, you have to go through the full motion cycle before you can get to, for example, straight up or straight down.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, you don't really need to do that very often, but there will be some cases, for example, when you're trying to clear out some parts of the platform that you might want to aim directly down, or at the very least, you can lead up your shot by pointing at the same part and then moving forward and continuing to hit down to break through it that much quicker.
Does the sword have direction as well?
Yes.
I see a couple of different sword slashes coming out of these
Two
guys.
animations, I think. There's a poke animation and like a slash animation.
Right.
There's a regular poke, and then you can hold up, and you'll basically swing it up like an uppercut. And they just have slightly different hitboxes. For any of the goals that show up today or otherwise, that shouldn't be an issue, knowing which one to use. But when you get to some of the other mechs, for example, there's another mech called Havoc. It uses kind of this blade on the end of a chain instead of a beam saber, and that starts to get a little different because the hitbox follows the end of the chain as it kind of wraps around. The rest of the bots that you probably are not going to see today, I can't guarantee that because they are in these stages, but they would have to go quite out of the way to find some of them.
Well, we've got one completed run from Error so far. Ark has timed it out to be a 2:13.04, and Mikey just now put in a 2:18 approximately. We're going to get the exact timing on that in a moment. But so far, about 11 minutes into the match, 2 runs on the board already is pretty good for a game this hard.
I got the Havoc.
Especially since I am currently handicapped because my middle finger I hit my middle finger with a hammer hard enough to split the fingernail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Ouch, and Seawolf had a run die right there at the end.
Yeah. One of the things that I want to say about this final set is that you're either taking your chances or there's a very minor manipulation. Oh man, Error just barely got it.
YOLO!
You can die and complete a stage. That is
Yeah, that's not
something that will
I've done
happen.
that.
But
I did that in practice.
yeah,
Wow.
some of the other.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say some of the other problems with this game. It's not very well programmed in certain parts, and this is an issue in that you can soft lock it based on how quickly you advance the text blocks. So you shouldn't have to worry about that anywhere. Okay, I'll bring it back up again at a later goal, but for right now you don't have to worry about it.
Well, so it looks like Error's got 207 in, and it looked like he split maybe a little late on it, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that as a 206, perhaps. But so far, that looks like the best run that we've seen. I don't know what Seawolf's practice times were, what he was expecting to get.
My practice.
What practice? Okay.
Pretty much.
Equals not applicable.
So something that you can probably see is that every time that they're going through these stages, it ends up a little bit different than what you've seen prior, and that's just because the enemy patterns are very much based on not only some amount of RNG, but your positioning as well. So like if you come in a little bit different position, like the enemies can do something completely different, and that means that you have to be able to adapt in a lot of different situations as opposed to just trying to follow the set plan. And that's one of the reasons that when the task for this game came out, I got really sad because there's so much really cool tech and things that is just completely unreliable for any kind of real-time attempts.
So what's the competition like for this game? Are there other people that run it besides you?
So the first person, as far as I know, to run it was a fellow named Gia. And he had runs on SDA for a while. And then a couple of years ago, he just decided that he didn't want his runs there anymore, so he removed them. And this was before they put in the different policies on whether or not they could remove runs and so on. But his was one of the last ones to get removed. And I'm like, well, okay, this looks like a cool game. I'll give it a try. And so I put in some work on it after that. But what really helped is that there is actually a group of, I'm pretty sure, Mexican fellows who play this game for competitive reasons. And they put out a bunch of glitch videos of like all this silly things that you could do with different mechs in different places. And I basically took the time to kind of figure out what it was that was actually happening and tried to reapply it towards speedrun stuff. And that led to finding several good zips in different places, a lot of different skips that otherwise were not possible. So whereas the original run from Gia, let's say it was around 22 minutes, 22, 23 minutes, somewhere in there. I brought it down to 19, and I'm pretty sure that when I get back to this, it can be down to like 1830 or less. The task, by the way, is like 1450, so that's just not happening. But another couple minutes can probably come from it fine.
Dude, nice shots.
Well, this does seem like the kind of game that would be very hard to match the tasks.
There's just some stages that you really cannot take the task route because the level of precision required is just not fair.
Oh, Mikey gets a completed run right there. Not going to beat his PB, but still nice to be able to show some consistency. He was very close to his previous time. Meanwhile, Error's run came in from the timer, and he actually had a 206.9. So that's the time to beat for now.
Good stuff.
And these mech guys decide to fight you, like just get in your way. You have to deal with them. You can't just like go past them.
Yeah.
So how much does the run rely on random drop luck?
That's the other big part. So I'm trying to remember all of the different instances. The run does not require random drop luck to continue. However, to get a reasonable time, you need to be on the better end of average of getting various them. And there's at least 7 instances, I believe, where you want to get rockets or some other weapon that'll enhance your time as you go through the stages.
Now, do you keep your power-ups between levels, or do you have to recollect them every time?
No. So the power-ups themselves are all temporary. Even the different shots and things. So the way that it works is the shoulder weapons, as soon as you activate them, they have a certain amount of time that they remain active and then they disappear. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's something along the order of like 1200 frames or something like that. But the shots have a bullet limit. So as soon as you fire 256 bullets, they go back to your normal shot.
I see.
And that is the difference.
And does that carry over between levels?
That neither of them carries over.
So you completely lose it regardless of how much you have left at the end.
The only thing that could possibly carry over between levels is the mech that you have. And there's a couple situations in which it's actually more like a continuation of a stage, where you can take in a mech from a prior stage and have it be used in that one. And that's useful in a point later on where you want, in particular, the spider, so you can do some fun zips in a stage that there otherwise is not a spider.
Well, Mikey, I actually think might have beaten his PB there.
No, I split really late on that first one, so...
Okay. It was very close, though. Looked like it could have been a PB, except a bit of a hang-up as soon as he started that out of the ship flying section, the whatever you call that, your little free man zone.
I tend to call it the
Yeah, you call it the oh no, don't kill me. The gauntlet. Hit the gauntlet at the end. So
There are a couple chests in here that are fixed drop, so like you can guarantee that you'll get a rocket from them. And so, for example, the one that Seawolf just got is always a rocket drop. The one earlier in stage 2 is also always a rocket drop, but those are at least fun to use. You'll run into some issues if you rely on a lot of the random boxes to give you rockets when you otherwise might not be able to support it.
Finally.
So it's typically rockets that you need, or rockets that you're hoping to get as far as the random drops go. But you said there's some cases where you want maybe gun upgrades for certain.
So you don't get gun upgrades necessarily. Well,
I mean something besides your pea shooter gun.
Right. There's one instance at the very last stage of the game where you want either speed booster or gravity, and that is the single biggest luck time save that you can get. It saves 20 seconds because it lets you skip a cycle of this kind of climbing sequence. And that one is absolutely critical. My PB, which is not actually online, it's actually a 1911 or something like that, does get it, and that is about the only other notable thing about the run, which is why it ended up being a PB. But I just hadn't been able to get back and get this game to a point where I'm really happy with the time. But yeah, every other instance I can think of, you do want to have rockets instead of anything else come out.
Right.
Sometimes you can make do, but rockets is almost universally the fastest thing. And the main reason for that is that it lets you go through parts of the environment as opposed to anything else. So you really want to try and keep that up for as long as you can. And save it for just the right places, because they put in a lot of gun emplacements that you really can't get by otherwise without just sitting in front of them and stabbing them for a while. So having rockets for those really makes it a lot simpler and quicker to get through.
Well, all 3 players with runs on the board now. Seawolf's 222 is up there on the board.
Alright.
So far, Error, the clear favorite, 206 versus Mikey's 217, but there is still 8 minutes left, so we'll really have to see what could happen. This is a game where you could probably surprise yourself by saving a lot of time, especially this, the free man zone here at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one of the things to note...
we can crush utterly.
Yeah. There are a couple things about that very last area that make it a lot more consistent to actually complete. The main one is just that the positions and the movement of all of those little orange guys is consistent every time. And so that means if you just do the same thing every time and fly straight in, you're probably going to get caught on that guy in the first corridor, and he's going to show you what's good. Yep. So to work around that, you can toss in a little delay here or there and make sure that you can get by him without too much effort and relatively safely every time. Because before, like, he was a pretty big issue before trying to throw in some delay strats.
I dodge all those shots. Or, more importantly, how did I miss all those shots?
So something else that you might notice just about the game in general is that there's no HUD. You're just a robot fighting a bunch of other robots, and the only indication you have about how much damage you've taken is your color will gradually change. I believe that there's 8 damage stages for Nitro, which is their default mech. and among those you have about 20 HP in each. So it's pretty critical to know at various times how much damage you've taken. So for example, Seawolf just went all the way to purple, and purple is really bad. That's probably 2 stages away from death. In the final 2 stages, you start to get these sparks that'll show up, and that means that you can no longer use whatever shoulder item you might have had equipped. And then if you go one more phase, you can't even fire. So that's real bad, and that's time to find a new way to go.
Yeah, you could be an armless mech just walking around trying to find some kind of power-up and just be stuck.
Yeah, if you can't find a power-up or another mech to transfer into, it's a real bad day. One other very minor thing to note is that this is a LucasArts game, so we can in fact call it a lightsaber that they're wielding.
It's true. Good luck, Stone. Dirty to me, Stone.
There are 9 official stages in the game overall. They're going through the first 2 right now. However, there are stages with multiple parts later on. For example, stage 6 has 3 different parts. So, in that sense, there's actually more like 13 stages. And they each have a slightly different gimmick.
The crawler stage is the worst thing ever.
So what are some differences between the mechs?
So the main 2 that that they might not see today, but the main 2 that you'd use throughout the run are going to be Nitro, which you start with in most cases, and Havoc, which is you see some of the enemies riding around in Havocs. They have this kind of Gatling gun, and let's see, Wolf.
Nope.
Just completely blocked. So you have this Gatling gun, so instead of just firing in a straight line, it'll kind of spread out a little bit, as well as they have a chain attack instead of the beam saber. Those are the main 2. There's Ballistic, and Ballistic is a ball and really annoying to actually control and work with, but it can go really fast. So that actually does show up in a few cases. There's Spider, which is a spider. There's no other way to put it. And Spider can cling to walls and ceilings, and the problem there is that when you cling to a ceiling, it inverts your control scheme as well. So you have to constantly know what you're doing with Spider, or else you can start, if you're just holding forward and you jump on the ceiling, you'll suddenly be traveling backwards. Let's see, next up there's Drotch, and Drotch is a flying mech, solely flying. It can fire around in 8 directions. You can kind of think of it like the Super Smash TV control scheme, where if you press B, for example, it'll fire straight down. If you press B and A, it'll fire down and to the right.
Okay.
Drotch
In multiplayer, there's nothing more horrifying than a upside-down Drotch coming out of nowhere with a fireball attack to just murder you.
Oh yeah.
Nothing more terrifying.
Yeah, Drotch is kind of a 1 or 2 trick pony. It only has basically the basic shot, which kind of fires out. It's very weak. But you also have this dive attack. And the dive attack is completely broken for reasons that you may not entirely understand. For whatever reason, so the dive by itself it just kind of drops down and does a crap ton of damage. However, what you may not know is that every time that you press it, it's an R button to attack, you heal half of your current damage. So if you just rapid fire press it, you're essentially invincible. The last mech is Prometheus, and Prometheus is kind of the heavy. It's a real slow walker. It's got this cannon that explodes into a bunch of bullets and does a lot of damage. And it also has these little bombs that kind of float up and will hit things in the air. It also has a flamethrower, but
You also
you
build
move really
bridges.
slow, and yeah, you can build bridges. I forgot about that because it's never actually used anywhere
Yeah.
in the run. I think you're supposed to use it in a couple other locations, but I've never had to actually use it. But this was a real popular game, at least as far as I've heard, in rental stores, simply because of the multiplayer mode. It's just kind of a deathmatch scenario. You go in, you can battle your friend with any combination of the mechs. There's power-ups around and stuff like that. There's even a couple power-ups that are exclusive to the multiplayer mode. Like, you will not find them anywhere in the single player.
Is it split screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes it is.
And there's a radar like saying go right for your enemy, left for your enemy. So it basically tells you can't hide really.
That sounds really good. I can see why that would be popular for rentals.
Oh, that's what most people remember this game for. The single player, I'm being honest, is fun, but it's too difficult for most people to put a lot of time into it, I think. Especially with the lack of multiple well, you get 5 continues and only 5 continues, and if you use them up, then
Man, the man
game
footsies.
over. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
just as we're arranged every time.
sorry, I managed to forget to tell you it was last call, so it's your last chance now to reset. You guys can continue this run or reset if you like. I was busy watching the end of Mikey's run. He had a really clean finish to that run that he just submitted on the, I think it's about a 212.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I got lucky and got the speed booster in stage 1.
Nice.
Yeah. The absolute ideal for getting through these first 2 stages, assuming that you can control yourself well enough and get through the rest of it that way, is to get rockets, because you can take an alternative route. But if you can use speed booster well, then it works out pretty good for you too.
Yeah, I just used the speed booster route I saw in the video that they posted when you got in the first one, so...
Garbage.
Do any of the gun upgrades, any of the guns that you get, let you shoot through these mesh floors any faster?
Yep, that's a little bit of what I was explaining about earlier.
Well, I see
If
the
you get
rock.
gun 3 or 4, it'll they
mow
won't
through 'em.
stop. They will go directly through them and just continue to go.
I see.
So those are really good. They give you 3 in stage 7. It's just sitting there all permanently, so you can get that, and that's really important for those stages because they're particularly well filled with various buildings to shoot through. And then gun 4, I believe that there's a gun 4 in stage 2. You do need rockets to be able to get to it at all, but it is there. It doesn't really serve much purpose.
Figures.
Not going to save you much time there.
No, you have to go you have to backtrack sort of to get it. And I think there's only one other location in the game that has a gun 4. It's maximum damage.
Oh,
Right.
jerks. Nope.
Oh.
Scientist wins.
Oh no!
See, with having a real rough go
Oh.
there, the corridor was completely blocked off. Even if he hadn't gotten killed, it would have been hard to get through the end.
I'm not very little gray men, but little red men.
Error also
trouble.
getting blocked out and having a little shootout right there
Oh.
at the exit. But I think he's going on rampage mode.
My time is at 4 minutes, Feasel.
Right? No, I see. No,
Okay.
I see that. I just it was just funny to see.
These guys are the champions.
Yeah, he's going postal
Oh.
there. So it looks like that's it for this match right here. We have our final times there on the board. Error wins this one with a 2:03. Mikey has a 2:11 for second place, and Seawolf with a 2:22. Nice job on this. You guys did not even have a full week to work on this goal, so nowhere
I
close
pretty
to
much
that.
started practicing this about 2 hours before
Yeah.
the show, so...
And I think pretty much all the players were in the same boat on that. So they made a lot out of a really tough game in a really short amount of time. Which brings us to our next match, which is going to be Cool Spot. These players had even less time to work on that. They've had 60 minutes to
Yeah,
learn
I am not going to be
an
able to do anything with
unintuitive
Full
and
Spot.
difficult game.
Yeah, it's
And
big.
it's and I should put this finger back on ice for no.
Random question: is this shield ever useful? For us?
Yes.
It can be.
Yes, it is, and that's only for a couple mechs. But there's also a special ability for the Nitro to leave up a shield. This is
For the hollow
just
shield.
like
Fantastic.
well, it's a shield that you can place like behind you, and you just kind of leave it around. I believe it's on X, and it'll block shots for a short time and then disappear. And that does get used a little bit. It's for very minor purposes, just blocking things or encouraging enemies to hit you in the right direction.
Okay.
But the shields change depending on which robot you are. So if you're, for example, Spider,
Actually, yeah.
if you're Spider, you turn invisible. And there's a bug with Spider where if you turn invisible the right way, you can become invincible. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, actually, Prometheus doesn't have a shield. Drake has the drive attack, no shield in Prometheus. Havoc's got the metal shield in the front. Nitro drops the hollow shield. What else there?
Ballistic puts up a shield too.
Yeah, Ballistic goes shield. That was a serious bot until we saw the upside down Drake kill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very important. Prometheus can't jump.
Nope. No jumping whatsoever, and you move like a tank.
Yeah, if it's above you, you look up mournfully and just sad.
Yep.
Then fire cannon at it. Okay, I'm ready to go for Cool Spot. Question mark?
Okie doke. Error, how you doing over there?
I'm here.
Just making sure you're still there. Did Mikey say he was going to sit this out? Or simply that he was going to put his hand on some ice in between matches?
Might be doing both. Might be putting it on ice and sitting out. I'm not sure.
Let's give him a minute just to see if he's coming back.
See, like the random scattering your shot. So you have like that. It's not Mission Quest bad, but it's pretty annoying.
Pretty bad. So, this game, can you explain why this game isn't nearly as good as it looks when you're watching videos of it? Because to me, honestly, this looks like a really interesting platformer with a lot of variety to it, but this is,
Alright,
this is
assume-
terrible to play, though.
So look at my right foot here. You assume I have a good, like, quarter of a character of space left on this platform. That I'm clearly on this platform pretty well solid. If I tap left, I fall off. So this whole foot here doesn't count. He's a very lean sprite for his sprite size. And this platform here, like, doesn't exist, was there, but now it's not.
So basically, it's a platformer with really poorly defined hitboxes on things.
Bingo.
Okay.
Not
Alright.
to mention, if you look at my screen right now, I'm standing on this pencil. I'm on the very edge of the pencil.
Right now, I
It's
see
like-
you're falling through the head of the pencil there. Like, it looks like that whole thing's a platform, but I can't tell if it's the pencil that's short on a hitbox or if your guy is short on hitbox. Probably both.
A
On a
little bit
pencil.
of both,
Oh,
actually.
pencil. They are on a pencil. Oh, on a
Yeah,
pencil.
but look at that. You're basically falling
On a
right
pencil.
through the cap. Well, okay. I think I'm gonna guess that Mikey is gonna sit out because he also sat out for much of the practice for this.
Yeah,
Right after
sure.
he banged his thumb up. If he does show up within, let's say, the first 5 minutes, do you guys mind if we restart the match with him?
That's cool. Yeah, no
No
problem with that.
problem.
Okay, cool. Well then, I think we'll start this off as a 2-player. Let me just switch over the layouts here.
SGL old school time.
That's right, old school. We used to do these two-player matches. Okay, I think we're set up over here. So why don't I give you guys the countdown? If you want to clear your splits out too, just so we know what we got in this match. I'm going to give you guys the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay.
Alright, so collect your 30 cool points. So yes, cool spot. The mascot of the 7-Up soda. We were talking earlier about the mascot wars and how back at this time of marketing history, every brand had to have a mascot, and you know, in our opinion, they're kind of reaching with this basically a disc with sunglasses. You can put sunglasses and sneakers on anything, and gloves, and it becomes a mascot. Is basically the concept they're testing here. I mean, a circle has turned into a mascot, so that's pretty much the least information you can work with. But it is interesting to see how many games were made with the Spot mascot, considering how relatively short-lived it was. Currently, the world record holder for this is Darbian.
Those games were like, you can have it. It's all yours.
And if you're wondering what these guys are doing in this level, collecting all these spots that are around everywhere, that's the objective of the level. You can't free your... I guess you have to free your friend from a cage there, and you need a certain amount of cool points. The cool points is these green percentage numbers in the top left of the screen. 30 is the minimum. That's the least amount of cool. And then you're done with the level. So there's quite a bit of routing involved, particularly to this first stage, because you've just got to decide which are the things that you want to get, which are the closest ones, which ones are out of your way. There we go. And from what I'm told by these players after the practice they put in, the first level is the harder one by far. I guess because there's a lot more to it. There's some tricky jumps on these beanie guys, these floating beanie guys here.
Nailed it.
And there it is. Seawolf gets his run in. And it's a 2:39 on the timer there. Arcano's going to give it a run of timing and tell us for sure what the final time is. Error's got a run in as well. 2:25 is what he's clocked in there. So it looks like Error, so far, more than 10 seconds ahead of Seawolf's first run, but we often see on people's first runs that they'll just submit whatever they get that gets through to the end. That's usually a good strategy for this kind of format.
Especially with this game.
Yep.
Yeah, that is an interesting point about multiple levels of parallax here. We have, the foreground objects are at one level, then you have these shelves with these weird looking dolls on them are another level, and then the writing on the wall behind, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to represent. Is there it's like an open air shelf and you're seeing through to some chalkboard drawing that goes floor to ceiling? But yeah, 3 levels of movement there, pretty cool. This is a pretty visually pleasing game, I gotta say. It looks very interesting. A lot of detail in the art, but I guess that just goes to goes towards the case of this game being really deceptive in how it looks compared to how it plays.
Oh, come on now.
That was a good stage 1.
Nope. Oh, why go up here?
Well, Error coming into the second stage with some nice looking green numbers there. We had said that this is not the harder of the two stages, but there certainly are some things that can go horribly wrong and kill the whole run if you miss, so no pressure.
Jumped way too early.
Looks like we got the official timing in right there. Error with the 225 and Theseawolf with the 239. So basically confirming what we see on their manual splits.
Both these games are really awkward to time. The last one, Metal Warriors, the way we have it set up is timing ends on the first frame of fade out. But the problem with that is that most of the stage is black, and it's really hard to see the very first frame of fade out. So you gotta go really carefully, frame by frame to get it. And then in this game, after you open up the cage, then the screen goes black, and it shows this level completed thing, and then there's like 200 some odd frames where they're jumping around and then walking across, and then it's like 10 frames after they exit, there's the first frame of fade out, so it's just really awkward games this week, but it's fine.
Yep, sometimes it's tough we have to sort of balance what's going to be easy for the players to see, what's going to be easy to explain to the players. You know, can't be too close to the end of character control because you don't want to be, doing inputs right up to the point where you're supposed to hit the button. And then sometimes Arc ends up getting screwed with having the really awkward to time things where there's no cues and then just suddenly out of nowhere fade out.
Yeah, but that's fine. I'm used to really awkward timings. There's been a lot of games that have been really strange time, but also really fun. So it's always interesting on SGL.
Must be nice looking at the lag counts on some of these too, because we don't get to see the lag counters unless players choose to let them up on screen. But I suppose you get a bunch of insight about which games are laggy.
Yeah, Metal Warriors was surprisingly free of lag. I was pretty shocked by that, considering of how much was on screen. Cool Spot, I didn't really pay attention to it. Let me check.
It doesn't feel laggy.
It looks pretty solid, but I can't really tell sometimes.
Yeah, there's no lag in the stages until you pretty much open up the cage. Then there's like a whole bunch of lag frames during the ending.
Yeah, a lot of games will
lose-
have lag
you
frames
lose
while like animation things are happening, or fade ins and fade outs.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Error got a fantastic improvement to his PB, took himself from a 225 all the way down to a 207. So I'm not sure what it is that he managed to tighten up, but that was an enormous time savings.
Everything. It's just clicking for some reason now.
All right.
Uh-oh, the next thing you know, he's going to be speedrunning this game for real.
No.
He was right.
You'll wake up in the middle of the night and just have an urge to play Cool Spot.
I'd say a bigger thirst, but that's right.
Let's wait for it. Let's see. Yep, all the way back down.
Ooh, how do I get there?
So I'm curious how many people who are watching have actually played this game, because I did play this game as a kid, and I actually didn't mind it. I didn't notice. I must have just been more forgiving of games then, but I found this to be pretty fun, from what I remember.
Well, now you've played good games with good controls.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
mechanics.
Yeah, like Hide and Light.
Right.
Apparently, Cool World.
Sure. I mean, often that's not the thing that you remember. Like, if you play a game a long time ago, you might not even remember how you liked the controls. But I seem to remember this being fairly popular, though, because this game, it got some mentions in Nintendo Power, and
Might have been
I
actually, this or Spot with the Hollywood got on the front page, I think. I think they had a cover.
this got a
It's either
cover.
this one. I don't know if it was
Could
this
be.
or the Goes to Hollywood got the cover. I think it was Go to Hollywood.
Might have been, that's the sequel to this game. Okay, yeah, I definitely knew that it existed, and I saw it on rental shelves and whatnot, but this is not a game that you see a lot of people playing now, and it may just be because we know better. We can, look this stuff up and figure out what we're getting into.
Something new found with that.
What do you think's the most difficult part about the first level?
There's this one jump I'm doing right now with these jet blocks, where I go around and have to go up and above this platform. And it's real finicky, because when you turn right, your hitbox almost is like front biased. So you have a fatter hitbox in front of you than behind you. So when you turn around in the air to go up there, you kind of whack your head all up. Alright, up there's the back side. I was always a Sprite guy myself, but Cherry 7 Up couldn't be beat.
Cherry 7-Up. Yeah, that's right. There was that. It was all around the same time that the Cherry everything started to happen, right? Cherry Coke, and then let's try it
Yeah.
on. Try it out on everything. interesting that that was the choice. It wasn't ever, there weren't like some companies doing strawberry and some companies doing grape. It was cherry was the thing that you needed to have. That was the standard.
It's probably the cheapest additive.
Maybe.
Oh, teeth. You win. Cherry pepper is interesting. It's hard to find anymore, but that was pretty good.
Cherry Dr. Pepper.
Sometimes you get just cherry, sometimes they do cherry vanilla, which is dicey.
Mm-hmm.
But just
Vanilla
cherry by
Coke
itself.
is pretty darn good.
Yeah, I like that. Satisfy your curiosity. A nice vanilla Coke. That was a weird ad campaign.
Satisfy your curiosity.
It was like the kid would be walking around. Oh, what's in here? Like, he'd be grabbed by two guys in suits and there'd be a big mob boss back there talking about, putting his nose where maybe you shouldn't put it. But in this case, your curiosity is rewarded. A nice vanilla Coke. It was very strange.
Ooh, Error had a unfortunate go with those last few jumps there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I missed that one.
It's too bad. I think that was a pretty solid run.
Can I sneak back here?
Well, we've got one of the comparison videos up. I neglected to remind Seawolf to use the right script, so sort of my mistake.
Oh, so he's an old script? Not good.
Yeah, I saw it last match, and I was going to mention it, and I completely forgot in between these matches.
Shoot. Alright, well, I'll download it before the next match.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll try to remember to remind you.
Well, I'll get it right after the cool spot round. I'll go and get it. Shouldn't be too hard. Oh, I killed this robot. I'm an idiot.
Oh, man.
Down with robots! I might grab that thing. My secret shame is I'm actually a big, I don't like Mountain Dew that much, but I do love Code Red. So it's fake cherry, I'm all over it, which is odd.
Push all the buttons and they do nothing to speed up the bonus screen.
Yeah, I tried. Oh, come on. See, I fell right through the block. There's a huge block I was going through because apparently my butt doesn't exist in actual, like, hitbox. Wow, nice. Nice momentum. Okay. Let's try it again. Where'd that one thing? Yeah, let's grab that rope instead.
Ow!
That's not bad.
That didn't sound good. And there... Oh. Yep, there he goes. Ouch.
Where's that? Yeah, I'll go up there and grab those instead.
Well, about 12 minutes left on the clock. Both these players had a chance to get some runs in. I think Error's had 2 and Seawolf 1 so far. I think the 239 is still his initial run. Yeah, this is proving to be a pretty difficult one. This goal was, I think it was Mythical who made this goal initially. I mean, he was the one who made it, and we've, well, I have tested it, but it's maybe kind of on the cusp of what should be a mystery goal and what should be a main game goal. What should, you should have a week of practice for.
That's fair.
But it's actually, I think, doable. These guys are at least getting a few runs in, and I feel like if they had even another 15 minutes of attempts, we'd start to see some really consistent times. It's sort of tough. 30 minutes isn't much to get attempts at something that's so execution heavy.
Filthy board. Why you do this? Dude, you're on me. Jeez. He's behind the actual platform. It actually hides the bird himself. I'm just getting beat up by something I can't see. It's pretty tragic.
But the run goes on.
Here we go. I don't have enough pool, do I? Get... what a waste of time. Woo!
Alright, we get the completed run from Seawolf. Clocks in at... There it goes, at 2:39.
Here, I'll waste your bandwidth. This 0.2 second improvement.
You may as well. Submit it anyway. Take your small improvements.
There we go. Oh.
Seawolf, that last one was 1 frame slower.
Really?
Oh man, after all that.
That's just tragic.
So I'm looking at this Wikipedia article on this game, and it says that in the European release, they had to remove the 7-Up bottle and replace it by a generic soda bottle because they didn't want to associate 7-Up with the 7-Up brand, or the Spot with the 7-Up brand anymore, because he was no longer the official mascot.
Oh, by the time it came out, it was already dead and gone.
Yeah, by the time that they still released the game Cool Spot, they just no longer wanted it to be associated with the thing that it was made to promote in the first place.
Hmm.
So, do you think you can get 100 spots in each level? Is that
Yeah,
what they're
there's
implying?
100. Well, the 7-Up 1-Ups give you 7 cool points.
I see.
So you get 7 off the 1-Ups.
Alright, so there may not be 100 actual spots. There's probably quite a lot less if there's a bunch of 1-Ups hidden in there.
Well. I'm missing all these cool spots in level 2. There we go.
So your health gauge is the picture of your face, right?
Yeah, as it peels off, you're getting less and less health.
I see. It's being peeled off of the HUD. I see. Looked like, I couldn't tell if it was melting or something like that, but That's an interesting health gauge.
I think it boils down to about 8 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Need a random health chop there and I didn't get it.
Does getting hit cost you time?
It does slow you down, but you also stop your movement cold, so any momentum you
okay.
have just stops. And you also stop in place and go Yahoo! Strangely.
So there's certainly no boosting that can be done. But you do have some invulnerability after you get hit. So I've seen you guys take damage and then walk through stuff, but I'm not sure how much you're going to be doing that intentionally in this run.
I actually grabbed a time bonus. That's gonna cost me the frames. No.
That's right, yeah, you don't want to increase your time.
Apparently not.
Look how long this countdown is. We're watching it on Theseawolf screen. Look how long this countdown lasts. Yeah, you spend about 15 seconds in that whole in-between stages part.
Take it. All right. Oh god. No. Wait. Wait. Ah, crap.
And
Actual improvement.
finishing off a run. Let's see. I'm going to guess 33. 32 flat. Look at that. 7.3 seconds improvement over his previous run.
I'm still down by 17 seconds.
Yeah, still off by a bit.
Some people are optimists, some are pessimists. I'm a speedrunnerist.
Speedrunnerist. That's right. Well, with 3 minutes, maybe Theseawolf will find another 17 seconds in his run.
Oh.
No?
I said, oh, because 3 minutes. Yeah, I could do 1.5 more runs. Easy peasy.
I wonder what it is that Error figured out about this route that Theseawolf didn't. It's
There's a way in the second stage. Like I have to go back and grab. Like I can't seem to get enough cool points going straight for the train. Like I have to go left and hit the one up there to grab the first 7. So obviously something there I'm missing.
I'm just using the route used in the video, which isn't that hard.
So I'm missing something somewhere. What am I not jumping at? Obviously I'm missing a power up or pick up somewhere.
There's a one right by the cage.
Yeah, there's one up down the bottom. That's why I'm using to bail myself out. But it's been odd because I've been. Oh, that's not gonna help. Like I sometimes get there like spot on. Sometimes I get there like 17 cool points. It's like how's that even what?
spot on indeed.
How did I even miss that many cool points? Knowing how the route works. Here, is that one? There we go.
There we go. Theseawolf through the first stage. And he's going to be quite a bit ahead of his PB splits. Yeah, almost 6 seconds ahead of his PB. So there we go. If he can find maybe another... I know, yeah, it's going to be tough. Find another 10 seconds in the second stage.
Oh, not doing that. Nope. There's like 4 of them. Five, 6.
Yeah, see, going back for that spot. Oh.
And there's the rest of it. Nope. Rip the time.
Well, it's now last call. This is your last chance to reset, guys. And that's it. No more resets passed right now. So here we are in sudden death.
Come on. Oh. Sometimes when you jump, you get like no left and right movement. It's the weirdest thing. Like real spotty on momentum. Oh. That's pretty good. You normally can't do that.
Bleh. Way to not make the jump.
You too, huh?
No, the jump to the cage in stage 1. For some reason, I came up short.
Well, I've done
And
that a
then
few
I
times.
fell on the enemy for my last hit.
I've done that a few times, but I just like,
Backward.
and jump off the rope. Thanks, bot.
Alright, well, looks like Error's run is done, but the burden is on Seawolf here to try to beat the time that Error's put up on the board, 2:07.
Oh, 207. Oh god, this got far worse.
2:07, yeah, that's quite a ways to go.
I'll clip through the cage and do my trains backwards and lose all my spots. Alright, here we go. Oh, I didn't. Oh, really? Nope. This has gone poorly. Board, you're my friend. Why are you doing this to me?
Yep, that bird's really
Keep
giving you
trolls.
the business.
There we go. Fortunately, I'm like spotless. Need more cool points.
Spotless.
Nah. Tell you what, this time I'll be better served by getting that new Lewis script. So we'll
Okay.
call it here.
Well, it looks like Seawolf was calling it. Not really having the second stage that he wanted. To be fair, though, a 2:07 is a tough time to beat. That's quite a time.
That's impressive. I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah, that is an impressive time. These guys only had an hour to work on this game, never having speedrun this before. So I'd say a 2:07 is pretty solid. And Error takes the second match. Error was also the winner of our first match, so far Error undefeated today.
I'm gonna be right now.
Yay.
And that shouldn't
Can't see
be
it.
too much of a surprise. Error was our third place finisher in the tournament, on the Season 1 SGL tournament. Error made his way all the way up to third place, so one of the top competitors we have here on SGL.
Let's see.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Go for it. Lewis script. Where you at? SGL script. Okay. Here you are. Where is that script? Where did I put it? Is it one above? There it is.
So, the next match we have coming up for you is going to be of Metal Warriors again. This is going to be a mystery match of the game, though. These guys will only have an hour to practice it, so we're going to give them 60 minutes to put together a route and practice this level. And then we'll see half an hour of attempts. But for the moment, we're going to give these guys a moment to get themselves situated.
Oh, I had the new script, I just didn't actually choose it.
Yeah, I
How's the
figured you
old
had it
script
because you used it in the tournament.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Okay, whatever. Must have played all NES games because my SNES Lua was not on the same one. Whatever.
Alright.
Metal Warriors.
I put the goal up there, so you should be able to get it now.
Right. One stage. Boink. Warriors. Check. Is the same as the other save name?
I think I gave it a different save number. I think this one's
Oh,
1 and the other one was 0, I think.
I'll delete it regardless.
Here we
I'll
go.
delete all my demon wasting saves. No. Yeah, no, regardless. It's a bad word to say. So is ain't, but I say ain't too. I'm trying to. Oh, it can't be. Hang on. No, you can watch it. Here, I'll reset this thing for you. Wait.
And I'm back.
Why is it?
Welcome
No,
back.
not OBS.
Goal is posted for the Metal
What?
Warrior goal.
You get the full intro. Whilst I get a beverage.
Hey, this demo player is a lot better than most demo players.
Yeah, it's nice to see when they actually put effort into making a good demo.
So what the bot that you're seeing in Error's screen is the Prometheus, and it's the tank bot that I was describing earlier. There is a Prometheus in this next goal, but you don't have to use it, and in fact, it's probably faster to not use it. Just putting that out there.
It seems pretty slow.
It is. It is very slow. It's very powerful, but it has a number of drawbacks that'll make it less than good for what you're aiming to do in the game.
Mystery goal not found.
Not found?
Yeah, I'm getting a,
Here, hold on. So let me reset the timer here. Let me just go see if it didn't upload.
the
I mean, I
requested
can,
URL player goal 172 was not found on the server.
alright, let me get it.
Actually, let me refresh to make sure that everything's okay. Hey, there it is. Never mind. I'm incompetent.
Okay, good.
Hey, I just downloaded the ROM again. Yeah.
Alright, looks like we got both players back. Let's get going here.
Alrighty. And pause. My name's Stone, not Speed. Jeez. Cripes.
Good luck, Speed.
I was ready to hijack that ship. No, not on stage. Yeah, set that up.
Hey, this level looks familiar.
Just a little bit.
It's the level we drop into while the splits are...
Oh yeah, uploading.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the grapefruit cannons. I forgot about those.
I see you were sad in your PB video. You got the gravity inverter thing.
Yeah. It's like,
Well, there's two options here. There's a box at the very beginning, and then there's a box just a little bit later in. So you have two chances to get what you're looking for. So I'll put it there.
All right, I'm going to take a look at the video from OmniGamer's 1924 run. That's what we're looking at here. So let's see what Stage 3 looks like.
oh, it's dirty. I'm using the poor game's programming.
All right, a little bit of jet boostering here.
Then-
I didn't see what's this shoulder upgrade that he's got.
Grand Theft Arceus.
And now we're on the ceiling.
Yeah, that would be the gravity booster then, which has limited use in this one.
Right, now there's this flame. What's this flaming purple thing? Oh, now we're out of the mech, and we trigger this little circuit back into the mech. Switch into the sword to take out these gun turrets. Man, that thing takes a while to die. Now we got a little bit of text. You have to just trigger that text and then leave that room?
Yeah, it's supposed to start a mission sequence where you're supposed to defend some generators. For a race environment, and well, just running it in general, I'm very glad to not have to be able to do that. Instead, you can just opt. They'll be fine, probably, and you just run back and try and commandeer their ship that they've tried to, raid you with. But this is kind of one of the main points that I want to bring up right now, before you guys get too far into this goal. Since you're not going to be fighting the generator battle, or you can optionally fight it, but good luck. There's a Prometheus in the lower right you can use to help try and defend those. But you have two options. You can either run back all the way. Either way, you're going to get on the ship. But if you're fast enough, you can get through and get the ship back in, which will end the stage before the generators break down, or before the sequence even starts with the generators breaking down. And that is the ideal. But if you're not perfect in movement and you're just a little you don't have too much precision in how you actually got there, you have an option to just wait, and instead you can trigger a glitch, and this basically overwrites the text box that comes up that would be saying, hey, you failed the mission, with another text box, and so you don't fail the mission and you can just drive it back in. So you basically make the judgment call when you get that far in about whether or not you want to take that risk, or if you want to wait it out and then get the guaranteed finish.
Alrighty. Good luck, Speed.
So this is going to be a pretty short goal. I think we probably are not going to need anywhere near a full hour to practice this, but you guys have it anyway, unless you decide you want to start this match early.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be a short goal, but there's going to be a lot of places where you can improve time. So
Yes, this is going to be highly optimized.
Something else to keep in mind. You will, to do this really well, you're going to be making use of another glitch. So if you recall, I said that doing any kind of melee attack will cause a per frame amount of damage. Well, they kind of forgot some things, and if you pause, that damage keeps going.
Yeah,
So-
that was that in the video. That's- my first guess, like, he's pausing. Oh, obviously the frames are still hitting the sword, still hitting.
Yep,
the
you're
ground.
going to want to try and make use of that the best you can, in order to keep up the right amount of damage. And it's a little tricky just to learn how long to pause and that sort of thing, but you to get a really good time getting into that ship, you will need to do that. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's surprising how many games have some effect that continues while the game's paused. They just forgot to undo that. So these gun turrets, when you blow them up, they've got 2 sections to them?
Yeah, 3 actually. These guys take
3?
well, it depends on the grapefruit turrets. They take like yeah.
Yeah, one of the reasons that you don't see, for example, using the pause glitch more is the sole fact that there's multiple stages to damaging a lot of things, and that's just their way of making sure that you can't just obliterate them straight out. So what'll happen is you'll do a certain amount of damage, then they'll explode and change modes, change to a secondary form, and that secondary form is has an entirely different health bar that you need to start damaging. So you can't just kind of sit in pause and then wait for the gun to destroy itself.
I see.
One. Oh, I'm in. Straight line elevator.
There we go. We see Seawolf making use of that pause trick. You have to actually connect. It has to be flashing. Does it work on you as well? If you're taking damage while you try to do that pause, will you take damage, extra damage?
Yes, you will.
So yeah, you don't want to do that to yourself. That is very similar to Blaster Master. We have that exact same glitch that's helpful and harmful. What do you think's the best shoulder weapon to get in this?
In this particular stage, again, it's rockets. And of all of the options that you could possibly get, rockets is the most likely that you're going to run into.
That dude stole my mech.
Yep.
Oh, the guy.
You do have to be very careful.
Yeah, exactly.
With placing your mech, they'll take it over.
Well, that's good. I like to see fairness. I hate games where you can do a thing to the enemies and they could just as easily do it to you, but they choose not to. It never made sense to me. But I like this. You can get out and switch mechs. Why can't the enemies?
It's not universal, though. They can get into Havoc, and they can get into Nitro. Nitro is what you're currently in, and Havoc is the other one. All of the rest of the mechs, they have no AI ability to actually control them. So, but that said, all the rest of them have a very different, control scheme too. So, you're going to find them a lot less often than either of those other two.
Nope.
I need to look at the route again because I keep getting lost.
Oops, yeah, I see a couple of dead ends here. Yeah, it's nice that it has this map. Is the map always visible, or do you have to actually draw the sections by exploring?
I believe that they're already there, but I do not remember.
Yeah, I'm sure you check your map a lot, right? Good luck, speed.
Yeah, one of the things that you can change is the name of your main character, so I figured that was the most appropriate.
Slowpoke, maybe? Give these players
Not enough characters for that, sadly.
Oh, too bad. Yeah, Quick Flash, I agree. I would have loved this game as a kid as well, except I never played this. I don't even know if I knew it existed until I saw, probably it was Omni running this game.
Ooh, it's close. Hey. Good news. No spaceship. Bad news. We're now hamster powered. Get those wheels going. I saw Omni's. I saw in the background the YouTube video playing.
Well, we've got Seawolf completing a test run. I didn't see if he was safe stating through it there or if that was actually a little practice
No,
run.
straight through. Straight through.
Cool. Well, so 147 on a run that's only about 13 minutes into practice, so this is certainly going to be a short one. I think that in Omni's run, maybe I should check this before I say anything. I think it's about a minute and a half, maybe a little under a minute and a half.
I also had rockets there, so I was actually able to, mow down all these turrets. Like, dude. Right. Oh, they all died at once. That was weird.
54 to
Came back.
24, yeah. It's
He came
exactly 90 seconds is what Omni does this in.
Dude, what? He vanished. They disappeared off the screen, and they're still there. The scientist and the two guys vanished.
Yeah, I see
and
that
it
he-
suddenly reappeared and stole my check.
And they reappeared. Wow, they and then stole the mech. Oh no.
He came out of my mech's leg. And
Yep. I see that he spawned right on the. While meanwhile the scientist ran interference.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a reason why I park my mech in the upper ground instead of letting it sit around at the bottom.
I shot at one guy once, they all vanished. I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then next thing I know,
Yeah, I noticed
Stuff
that you guys are parking it differently than Omni, and I guess we know why.
yeah. Well, yeah, the guys don't fly out there in jacket. They don't have jetpacks. There we go. Right in the face. You're dead. You're dead. Dude, again, there's must be a sprite limit or something.
Let's see it. Let's see it. So
He wasn't even there.
what? Someone already had your mech, and I didn't see anyone over there.
Yeah, now I just pulled my chain now.
There's no one in that mech.
It's ghost riding. It's that bike, the parking lot just going by itself. Alright, jackasses. Try and steal it now. Or you can kill me, that works too. Oh god.
So how much time is it saving you doing the pause glitch on these turrets?
Like 3 or 4 swings.
So it's not necessarily about the time that it saves you either,
the
because you would possibly have an option to get another rocket launcher, and then you could just obliterate your way through those. But the main thing is that you're actually stopping the movement of the ship because it's constantly moving backwards while you're on it. So you want to both take out those turrets as well as minimize the amount that the ship moves,
Yeah.
and that's what allows you to actually finish off the stage
Game?
before it gets there.
Game?
So after you trigger the thing, the ship moves back to the right. and it has got to get all the way to the right before the stage ends.
So you actually control the ship like completely. So you just move the ship back towards the right yourself. Otherwise, you can kind of float around and go to the left and explore if you wanted to. But
And a white hole.
Right, but to actually end the stage, yeah, you got to drive the ship all the way to the right. Yeah, so that's why. That's pretty clever. So you could even taking a time loss at fighting those turrets still would save you time.
Right. The problem is that my game is turned completely white and does nothing. A slight problem.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons why you have that alternative strategy. Is if like you don't have a good chance fighting the turrets, for example, you miss a pause or something like that, you can at least have a backup and some idea of how to salvage it without too much of a loss of time.
You know, I grabbed that computer at the same time screaming white, and I guess it locked up.
Yeah, as soon as the screen starts to fade, then you go and talk to the computer, and hey, look, you overwrote the event.
Yeah. Really early though.
So that's a legitimate soft lock.
Oh, if you do it at the wrong time, it might soft lock.
Yeah, I know.
There's another thing that might happen if you click through the text box too fast when you first get out on the ship. In particular, before the music has finished shifting, you have a chance to soft lock the game there too.
All right.
But that basically just means like if you're thinking that your mashing is pretty good, just delay it by like a quarter second or something, and you'll
lost the power up. That's unfortunate. I mean, lose that health up.
So what? How do you know how long to keep it paused?
It's just kind of you get a feel for it. It's constantly doing damage, so you can leave it paused a little longer if you're not sure, or if you really want to cut it close, it's something along the lines of about half a second, I think, is enough to wipe out their HP.
I see. So you're timing that completely internally. There's no audio cue.
Yeah, there's no cues, and especially later on, there are a couple instances in which, like, you have a little bit more creative amounts of time that you need to wait for certain phases of bosses or otherwise to pass.
And do the I guess it's 3 things that you kill with the pause glitch here? Do they all have the same hit points?
The first 2 do. The last one has a little bit less, and if you are really close to it and it doesn't knock you back, you can actually kill it without the pause glitch at all.
Oh, is it because your sword will do damage every frame that it's intersecting?
Yeah, it's every frame, but it's also like, to make it do maximum damage, you have to be right up next to it so that every possible frame connects.
Sure.
Nope.
Right, so yeah, my reason for asking is just wondering if it's this timing interval that these players have to figure out. It's something that does change. They're not all the same, but at least it goes down. It's not going to get longer. So once they've gotten the timing figured out, for the first 2, at worst, they're going to overshoot and, overkill the last one if they just follow the same timing they use for the first 2 turrets.
Yeah, other than just general movement, the biggest things that mess with the time that you can complete the stage in are the that final wow, my mind's not getting it. It's whether you get the rockets as well as whether or not you get through that section efficiently, and that's going to be your main source of gaining time back.
It also seems like, having rockets to blow up these turrets here, these grapefruit turrets. That seems huge.
Yeah, it's really nice. And unlike some of the other stages, you do get 2 opportunities that are pretty distinct, and, well, they don't cost much time to check both of them, to get the to get the rockets. So you have better chances than normal at getting what you need.
Now, you mentioned, Omni, that the rockets are more likely than other things to drop. Is that true?
I believe so. It's been a little while since I did that research, but I'm not entirely sure. There's a table that basically determines what drop you get, and I'm fairly certain that rockets is the most likely thing. But that said, it's about like 7 in, I want to say like 24, something like that.
So still only around 25%. So not great.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 6 or 7 different things that can come out of the chest, so it could be a lot worse.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Right. And given that these players have 2 drop opportunities to get the rockets, that's not too bad. That's going to be probably around 40%, right?
It's not terrible, and again, it's not required. You can still get a pretty good run without it. It's just that you do give up that time that it would save you.
Mm-hmm. So would there be any kind of 100% definition for this?
So, depending on what you read, some cheat places basically say, hey, look, there's... if you get through without dying at all, you get this bonus stage. Those are wrong. You get the stage every time, regardless of how many times you die. So, don't pay any attention to that. The only other thing I can think of for 100% would be no major skips. So, like, you'd actually perform all of the story events and that kind of thing. But otherwise, I don't really see it coming up.
Where'd that go?
Okay, so there's no kind of different ending or anything that you get.
No.
And... okay. And it doesn't look like at the end of the stage it lists a completion rate of anything.
No, there's no tracked bits of anything, so... it's entirely up to whatever you're
What
playing.
destroyed me? What the heck
That's
happened?
interesting. These levels are big exploration-based levels, and so I'm surprised that there isn't some sort of collectible in each level that actually forces you to find all the little nooks of it.
Yeah, so I honestly probably couldn't tell you where a lot of the bonus stuff is in a lot of these stages, just because I haven't had to deal with it like that before.
But that might be an interesting SGL goal to route out something like that.
Yeah, there's certainly some stages that make use of some of the other mechs that would be very interesting to see how people kind of deal with them. But we can save that discussion for later.
Right. Don't make games. They should make games like this.
Like on the hangar. That's why. Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
it's pretty advanced, even for Super Nintendo era. This was pretty advanced.
Yeah, they did a real good job with it. And believe it or not, this is built in the same engine as Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Zombies ate my neighbors. Huh.
Yep, it is the Xammon engine.
Wow.
And a couple people that worked on this game are now
What
kind of
about
bigwigs in various gaming companies.
This is a Konami game, by the way. Konami.
It's Konami published. It's
Oh.
LucasArts made.
Yeah,
so,
say LucasArts made zombies too, right? So.
Yep.
Hmm.
Tom, I believe I tried to get in touch with Tom Sharp to do dev commentary for this game when I ran it at SGDQ 15.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't reach him in time, or he had a conflict. I don't exactly remember, but he's basically like lead designer for Skylanders.
Okay.
So, yeah. people still working on this.
Interesting. When's the Prometheus Skylander thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool too. Walks around, big stompy guy, big cannon.
Very similar.
Flamethrower is a horrifying disaster of a weapon. It's also a shield.
We're seeing a little preview of level 4 on Seawolf's screen over there. Look at this thing. Look at the
Level 4
flamethrower.
is not one you want to... Not one that you're going to want to do.
Oh.
Just a heads up. It's...
Wow.
I'm trying to build a bridge somewhere, but I can't.
Yeah. I don't understand...
He's got the shield here, which is
perfectly.
okay. Doesn't do anything. Like, his shield doesn't do much. But his flamethrower
really,
stops
no.
all shots.
So the flamethrower is a shield? Huh.
Yep. Big laser missiles, don't care.
The main issue with 4 is that, well, there's some requirements for it that aren't exactly stated. It's either some combination of you have to kill a certain number of enemies, or you have to get to a point where at least a certain enemy shows up. And the process in doing that is fairly complicated because enemy spawns are tied to other enemy spawns and your location and crap like that. So it's really complex to try and make a reasonable route to get through that. And then executing on it is that much harder because it means you have to focus on killing enemies that may or may not react how you expect them to.
So the objective in level 4 is to kill things, right? Is it like certain enemies
For the
that you have to
most
kill? Or is it a certain number?
It's not necessarily. It's like I said. I don't entirely understand the requirements. Sometimes you can get through with less enemies killed, but to do that, you have to make sure that you kill a certain set of them. So, yeah, it's ambiguous.
Great. And that's the objective of the levels, to kill some ambiguous number or specific group of enemies.
Yep, it's fantastic.
I guess if you were flagged, like the main problem, like they would be the ones that you gotta take care of.
Yeah.
They're the same, obviously, but. Oop, not enough. Literally a frame left.
One of the other subtle things here is just how much precision you have over using your vernier to, well, get through various parts of the stage. For example, when you're falling back down the shaft, you need to make sure you use them just at the right time so that you actually can fit through the doorway without having to linger.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
So where's your health gauge?
You are the health gauge.
But
Your
how can you
color is
tell? Your when you get really low on health, your mech has like starts to smoke. But in between that,
It gets gradually darker. You become more purple.
See, now I'm really red. Now I'm a little darker than I was before. You can't tell if I'm flashing colors. Like now I'm a beat up red.
You know,
but it's a couple of hits per color change. It's not like
you
single.
have 40 HP as nitro per stage, and I believe that there's 6 damage stages. 6 or 8, somewhere in there. So you do have a lot of hits to go through, but different enemy shots will do more or less damage to you. So it's not simply oh yeah, if you get hit 40 times, then you go down. And you do, like, it is frightening what some of the enemies can do to you, especially ones that have per frame attacks, and you really have to be on your guard when those show up.
Interesting. That's something that I didn't catch the first time I played through this. That you're changing color, because it is subtle, and you do have to take quite a few hits before you change even a shade. I would just notice when my mech started to catch fire.
Yeah, if you get to the point of sparking, you're in bad shape. That's the second to last, or
There's sparking
yes.
and there's armless sparking.
Yeah,
Right.
you're in a bad way if you get to the point of sparking.
That's right. That's the
And,
worst thing. Right before you die, you actually can't fire. Your arms fall off, and you're just this useless mech who can't fight back.
That's right.
What you got? What you got? What you got?
There we go. We got Theseawolf in armless mode.
Let's beat again.
There you go.
The only way to recover health is the pickup, right? Or
Yep.
can you? Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you
the
go
plus
back
sign.
to full health between stages, correct?
Usually.
That's right.
I think you do.
Wait,
There is
Go ahead.
let's see. So you can get health at various places. There's that bug that I described with Drotch, but otherwise, yeah, there's not really a whole lot of other instances where you can recover health.
What is that actually doing when you initiate the little circuit that makes the spark go down the wire? What is that?
Right where I'm standing is a closed door.
Oh, that's what it opens. I see the spot where the spark led to. That's how you get to this
There's
dialogue.
there's actually a fantastic glitch with those on stations, because the way that they kind of update the background to show that it switches from on to off is they basically just say this tile is now tile +1 in address.
Mhm.
So there's some cases where you can actually be pushed off the tile without basically finishing up all the way yet. And so you update a tile next to it instead. And that can lead to some very bad things.
That's not the trouble.
I see.
It doesn't show up. It doesn't show up in the run, but if you watch the task, they do use it a couple times.
I see. So it's just switching an arbitrary block to the next sprite in the order, even though it hadn't really been paired with an
Right,
alternative
and
version.
what that also means is that they get the physical properties of that. So, like, let's say that the next one up is a wall. Suddenly you're inside a wall and you can zip.
Oh wow.
So it has some really interesting applications. It's just a shame that there's so few places that you can actually do it.
Sure. Another interesting thing about this game is that it has bullet holes. Anything that you shoot, or probably the enemy's bullets as well, but anything that hits a wall leaves these little pock marks. And I assume that's implemented in a similar way, like there's wall and there's damaged wall, and it must just be, switching it over to the damaged version of the tile.
Probably. I don't know exactly. Well, I don't know anything that works especially because of that. It's just a neat graphical effect that they threw in. It's kind of the area damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last extra bit of realism that they have.
Yeah, but it's very cool. It's a cool concept considering when this game was made. This was a feature that wasn't even in like 3D first-person shooters until later on. This was an innovation that was, started to become a important part of FPSs, but I've never seen a platformer where you can just arbitrarily shoot wall segments and it makes bullet holes. That's crazy.
Grenades. Won't do. Never mind. I can make it work.
So it seems like best case scenario for the beginning of the level is the first drop to get the reverse gravity, and then second drop to get the missiles.
I think first drop is rockets is your best bet. So you can come
Either,
here.
if you can get rockets from either one, it's fine. You don't really save all that much time from gravity. It basically just removes the cost of having to check that second one.
Oop, wrong button. fortunate that the button to advance the text is also a button that makes you jump. So if you press one hair too long, you get launched in the air. Like, oh, I'll stand here. Hooray! All right. Pardon me, fellas.
The last thing to note is that I gave them a suboptimal name because it does take it's either 1 or 2 extra frames for every character that they need to display. So every time that your name pops up, that's a loss of, let's say, 5 frames, simply because I didn't leave them with 1 character in a name.
It's all right. It's okay. No problems here.
It's okay.
No worries at all.
Yeah, he found seizure mode.
No worries.
This glitch can result in a number of different things depending on when you actually activate the computer. Seizure mode is one of them.
Oh, I saw the bouncy bullets there for a moment. Did not look too helpful.
Man, what ruined me there.
That shaft where they have to drop down and there's bombs that are encased in the floor. That's a particularly tricky area to get through, solely because if you activate the bombs, they can kind of shift you around wherever they feel like, and it's no good. But if you're just in the right position, on the far right side, you can shoot straight down without having to actually go through or activating the bombs.
You stuck? What's going on?
So, Error just found the soft lock related to text. He mashed through too fast, and the music basically hasn't had a chance to change fully yet, so the game just kind of hangs out until it does, which is never. So, yeah, rather than mashing through that text, as soon as you have it full up, just give it another half second, quarter second, whatever, and it'll be just fine, and you'll never hit that soft lock.
Alright, so...
You're asking me to wait.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, you can risk it and go. The music might actually get through just fine, and it'll just be like this weird cacophony. But for the sake of completions, yeah, you might want to wait.
I don't know what to say. Gotta go average.
That's interesting. It's a kind of a gamble, but if you're behind by a little bit, I mean, and right there at the end, there's not much goal left, so I guess you'll know what your time should be coming through that section, and maybe it might be worth not slowing down to avoid the soft lock.
Like, it's a really subtle amount of time. I'm pretty sure it's only like a 1 or 2 frame window to actually cause the soft lock, and even then it's not, like, I can't reproduce it 100% of the time. It just happens sometimes. If you want other fun bugs that I cannot reproduce, but I have seen a number of times, playing through the game, Occasionally, it will decide to remap your buttons. And it's not just that it remaps your buttons, it remaps them to buttons that don't exist. So I've had, for example, fire button set to square before. I've had one set to S. So bad things. Real bad things.
So it's tested on the Xbox controller back from 1991.
Huh.
That's odd.
It doesn't come up too often, but when it does, it's very apparent because most often what happens is I'm not able to actually get out of my mech or do anything else worthwhile because every button I press will cause me to shield.
All right, turret. Apparently this time he's not going to be immune to the sword. That works too. What do we got? Hyperspeed.
Now, what prevents you from just skipping the turrets?
You can't physically get over the turrets.
There's just an invisible wall over them?
You don't have enough room. You can wait until it leaves the hangar to get over them then, but if you wait that long, you're probably not going to get the glitch in time, or to do it the fast way at least.
I see.
Oh, he bounced down. Oh, freaking bolt hit me.
Well, we're about 3/4 of the way through this practice session. These guys only have a little over 15 minutes left to practice. And even though we only gave them one stage, it is a pretty tough one, and we're going to see a much higher level of optimization than we saw in the first goal, in our first match today.
Yeah, there's just a lot more moving parts in this stage than in the first two, so expect to see some interesting things.
Yeah, the first goal, it seemed like it was really boxed in. There was just a lot of really tight quarters, and there wasn't really a lot of room to do a lot of fast jetpacking and such. Whereas this one, you're flying, being efficient about how you maneuver as you're flying seems to be really critical. There's just lots of places that you'll lose time. And that's good. I actually really like this this rocket boosters aspect of the game. This game's got cool movement. There's no jump. It's only just this booster, and it's really, to get it right is tricky.
So something else from that. One of the things that was brought up beforehand that I glossed over a little bit, just because I didn't want people to be trying to experiment with this early on. The RNG in the game advances per frame every time that you press the B button. And so you can manipulate the drops that are coming out by how much you press B before you actually open it up. But again, that is per frame. So you have quite a bit of precision to wind up getting exactly what you want.
So do you attempt to do any kind of RNG manipulation in your run?
I have in the past. It's only really feasible to do it in the that very first stage if you want to try and manipulate rockets. After that, it is entirely all over the place.
Right.
Because as soon as enemies get involved, they start calling it, and that does strange things too. So it's really outside of your control after that very first box.
Right. And now these guys have the benefit of starting from a save state, so even though they're in level 3, it's as if...
Yeah, they might be able to find something. But the thing is that it also advances when you're in a text box, and the only way to get out of a text box is to press B. So you have to really be confident in your ability to press B for 1 frame,
Right.
To get through that consistently.
There's techniques for a 1 frame. You can like flick it with your finger. There's things you can do. But
Yeah,
it's
you can definitely get it done. But if you don't press B otherwise, you can't speed up the text either. So you're taking a time loss if you wait on that.
Make it.
I see. Even the time, yeah, because at the beginning of the stage you have all this talking, and even that's affecting your. Even that's affecting your RNG.
And every
That's
time
cool.
that B also is your jump button, which
Right.
is your vernier. So, like, if you can do it absolutely consistently, then cool. But you certainly shouldn't be planning on it.
Huh. Okay, when you're using the gravity reversal mech, and is falling upwards faster than flying upwards, in normal orientation?
It is.
Okay.
Not by a big margin. Controlling it in that space is also a little different. For the sole reason of you now have to jump to go down.
Right.
Other than that, it's not bad.
I mean, I saw Error able to use it there as he, rose up that column, and it sure seemed pretty quick.
Yeah, again, it's not really intentional to do that. The amount of time that it saves is basically the amount of time to make you break even with checking that second chest. So ideally, I'd still just get rockets.
Right, that's going to be the thing. You want to get rockets. That's the thing that's really going to help you in this goal. If you end up getting this the gravity item instead, that's some consolation prize, but it's, not really your first choice. So I'm wondering what kind of times we're going to see during this match. Error has posted a 140 just in doing practice runs here. And Theseawolf, his splits say 108, but that I don't think is
No, it's
correct.
147 was my best time.
Yeah, 147 is what I remember seeing you get. So both these players in the 140s, I think I timed it out, and OmniGamer's run of this section is 90 seconds, so 130 flat. So let's see if either of these guys can get anywhere close to what a master of Metal Warriors is able to get. Only having practiced this for an hour.
No.
No? This is a hard game for a mystery goal. OmniGamer suggested a whole bunch of levels for this game that we could use for SGL goals, but the only one that was flagged as possible mystery goal was stages 1 and 2, which we've actually already used as our first main goal. So I threw together this one, just stage 3. I mean, it's not much game, but it's a pretty hard level.
Yeah, I need to actually think back and possibly revisit what might be good alternative goals.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the ways of getting through it, say with a mech that normally you wouldn't have in that particular stage, or things like that, might make good mystery goals.
Yeah, I think that would be cool, and that would really show off some of the unique stuff about this game, because this game has a lot of variety to it, especially with all these mechs and power-ups and whatnot, so it would be neat to show off some other things. Less than 10 minutes left on the clock. We're coming down to the end here. Hope Mikey's doing okay. We started this episode with 3 players and lost one of them due to injuries. Got a smashed up finger, and I guess he's sitting out, and I think gonna go get it checked out by a doctor. But it sounded like it was pretty serious.
Yeah, hammer
Yeah,
fingers.
last he said he was going to get it checked out.
Yeah. Man, so I have to check up on Mikey. He's one of our SGL regulars. Usually shows up for our Thursday evening matches. All three of these guys SGL regulars, though. Seawolf, Error, and Mikey, some of our most prolific SGLers.
No, that was right there.
So where are the generators in this thing you're supposed to protect? Just out of curiosity.
I think that room you were in when you go to the end there.
Yeah, when you get to the end and you just book it backwards, that's the room that you're supposed to hang out in and protect some generators. There's a Prometheus at the bottom, and basically it's a defense mission. It's you're just trying to protect them from everything that comes through afterwards. But we don't got time for that, so you just book it back and finish out the stage.
Okay, for next week we have Metal Spot and Cool Warriors.
Metal Spot. Cool Warriors. Cool Warriors sounds like it could be a game. It wouldn't surprise me if there was maybe some Japanese game that translates into Cool Warriors. I'm imagining like the samurai type protagonist riding a skateboard.
It'd be horrifying. A guy in full armor and a katana on a skateboard coming at you. Probably worse ways to die, but they're currently escaping me.
Getting an obscene number of med packs.
Hey man, don't have your health. What do you have? The answer here is arms, but that's situational. Get out of here.
I see Error's got the gravity item. I always liked games where you can switch from floor to ceiling, and especially in this game it seems appropriate because we're used to seeing Metal Storm, another mech game where you do gravity reversal. Misspelled Cool World.
Oh.
Yeah. One of these
how do you
days
get
we'll
all
have
those
Cool World on this show. There is a
I know,
Super
it's not-
Nintendo version of it.
There is.
I'm told that it's worse than the NES version.
I've read that game a few times and cannot figure out how to do anything.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
Like sometimes you're driving, sometimes you're in real world and fake world, and you have a pen you can eat enemies with. It's really
That's
good.
right, the reverse fountain pen is a weird item. It's a pen that sucks ink into it.
Yeah, you get that by default in that game. The SNES version, you have that as like your primary weapon.
You have to find it in the NES version. In the Super Nintendo, they just give it to you, huh?
Yeah, that's what you got.
But you have to find ink wells to spit the ink back out into, though, right?
I'm not sure, honestly. I never got that far.
I think, well, that's how it works in the NES version. There's, you soak up enemies with the pen, but then it fills up, and you've got to find ink to put, to drain the pen out. Yeah, that's weird. The whole thing's very weird and suggestive.
Oh, Jesus.
Cannot figure out what's going on. Oh, here's a
Yeah,
legitimate
long
question from the chat. Error, how do you deal with all the buttons on the controller? There's just so many of them.
Good question. I'm usually an NES guy.
He actually thought he was going to play Zelda 2 Randomizer today, but surprise, we gave
I
him
forgot
Metal Warriors
that was
instead.
happening today.
Yeah.
Oh no, I lost all my health.
Well, we thank you for being here and playing, well, a game that's not very much like Randomizer.
Or Zelda 2.
Or Zelda 2. This game sure does have a lot of robots. Pretty much everything's robots, except for the people. There's tiny little people running around.
Dun. My music has gone wonky. I have a bass line, and only the bass line. I lost my arms. Bring it. Bring it. Anything will work. I'm gone. See you guys later. You're on your own.
Armless. He's armless.
Oh, gone. Later. Peace.
He just prints proof from Earthbound now.
I'll be fine. I'm gonna find some space meat.
That's right, everything is either made of robots or made of not robots.
Red alert. From what? Dude. I got mauled.
I swear I saw that rocket land on the turret and it didn't blow up.
Now we're talking. You did. Make it, make it, make it. Ah, gotcha. How do I do this? I don't know why.
It's interesting how this idea of these combat mechs has just been such a thing in, you know, pop culture for decades. But no one actually makes real mechs that you can get into and like, fly around and do things with, right? I mean, is there mech technology out there? Can I actually get a mech if I want one?
Not. I mean, money, hydraulics, power, failsafe. Something goes wrong. It's the reason why there's no jetpacks for people, because jetpack didn't work.
Right.
Well, you're dead.
And you don't want to be the guy who has to test the jetpacks. But it's just surprising that no country has like decided they wanted to try out the mech program in their military. You know, there's not even like prototypes of mechs that we know
They're
of.
trying. I have to imagine they're trying. Like, any chance to get a free, you know, step up on your neighbors. Probably not free.
A Big Mac.
Alpha Team Mecha. Made it. Yes. Yes. So 143. So you got 140? Error?
You hit a 140 flat.
136.
Oh, now he's down to 136. Uh-oh.
Wow. I'm impressed. Wow.
All right, well, we are at the end of our practice period, so now we're going to see what happens when these guys start doing attempts for real. No more practicing. This is all official runs going on now.
No!
How much gasoline do I have? How much gasoline do I have? Who wants to test? I'll be here all day. Let's go. And you.
All right,
You get a fire. And you get a fire. Get down here. Get the fire. Hey.
All right, there we go. I think I got everything up here on the screen. So, I think we're going to transition into our third and final match of the day. You guys probably going to want to clear out your splits. And let's see. Both of you ready to go?
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. Well, then here comes the countdown for our third and final match. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, you guys.
Luck.
Luck speed. And us, I suppose.
Good luck, speed. That's right. We got to thank OmniGamer for putting the save state together for us, and he named these characters Speed. Maybe to be encouraging, or maybe just to be ironic. I'm not sure. But we've got in our third match here. We got stage 3 of Metal Warriors. You saw in match 1 we did stages 1 and 2, And here's stage 3, which is a lot. It's a lot of stage for a goal that's going to be pretty short, probably about, you know, a minute and a half, minute 40 or so. It's going to be just a lot of things going on, a lot of things that can go wrong, and a lot of movement optimization. The point of this stage is you're supposed to be defending. What are you defending? Gun turrets, or you're defending a core?
You're stealing the core, defending the core, then you're stealing a ship. It's like 3 in 1.
Okay.
This is a raid basically on an enemy asteroid base, where they've got like weapon store and other stuff, and you have to get through and, well, basically commandeer the place, take control of the energy generators, but they realize that they're in deep doo-doo, so they set them off to, well, they set out to blow up the generators and therefore the base. In the meantime, you decide that they came in with an awfully lovely ship that you'd like to have, so you go and make it your own, and that ends up taking precedence over saving the generators. So
no. Oh wow, they can blow up real fast this time.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, so these guys are skipping the intended sequence of events in this level, right?
Trash the generators.
That is correct. You skip an entire defense phase, where you'd normally be taking care of some of the trying to defend the generators from enemy attack.
That's unfortunate too. That was a nice run. They have none of that.
Yep, poor Theseawolf lost a run right there at the end. We got Error coming in at the end of his run. That 136 you see on his splits is from his practice. This is, I think, his first run still. Or maybe some quick resets, but mostly his first run. And like that last stage that we saw in stage 2, there's a little bit of a coming out of your ship section at the end. So there are a few little guys in the final corridor that control you, but it seems like you can just blast your way through and you've got enough health and everything that you don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's 2 guys, not like 8.
Right.
Like last time.
And
Last time we
Error
were in business.
gets a completed run of a 135, so beating his PB from practice. So that's our first official run of this match, 135 from Error.
That's a surprise. I'm gonna take it. Rockets are bust. Rockets are bust.
It is rockets or bust.
Nope.
Well, we've got Arcano doing the timing today, and what it does is when each of these players finishes a run, they submit it to our servers, and Arcano downloads it, plays it back on the emulator, and figures out the exact timing down to the frame, which is going to then be printed in this box up here at the top of the screen. So he does a great service for us. If we have some really close matches, he's the one who's going to resolve it and tell us who's the winner.
Andy, you're right. It's the same thing with the menu being open and the frames still counting for damage.
Yeah, it's essentially the Blaster Master trick. Yep, like grenade pausing. So yeah, you see these turrets at the very end. There's 2 gun turrets and then another like double gun turret after it. And what he does is what these guys do is pull the sword out, and they slash with the sword. And while the sword's doing damage, they pause the game. And every frame that the game is paused, it continues to do that sword damage. The game doesn't, turn off the damage when the game's paused. That also, just like Blaster Master, it also works back on you. So if you're getting damaged by an enemy while you pause it, that enemy will hit you on every frame. So it's a double-edged sword there, but it's certainly helpful in this goal. Not just because it gets you through those turrets faster, potentially, but also because it keeps that ship from sailing out to the left, because once you get control of it, you need to sail it back to the right again in order to end the level. So every little bit counts that you as far right as you can keep it will save you time in the end. I wonder if we're going to see any mech getting stolen, but see this section right here that Error is going through, you hop out of your mech for just a moment, and during that time, someone can hop into the mech and run off with it, and that is going to be the end of the run there. Hopefully these guys have got the hang of it, but we saw it happening a lot during practice.
Yeah, usually the exact timing that you get there, there's another guy who's kind of due out to spawn from the doorway right as you head over and try to activate the switch. So if you're not aware of that, or you're a little bit slow in getting back, he can definitely take over your ship. They also have an AI so that if you start shooting at them, they will run in the opposite direction. So you you kind of have to avoid shooting them, or else they'll run straight to your mech and get into it. In some cases.
Right, and we saw a lot of cases where enemies would despawn and you can't kill the enemies, and you go past them and suddenly the enemy will spawn off screen and grab the mech, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So I don't know how to avoid the despawns.
In general, you just try and keep your mech out of a position in which it might end up getting stolen. So
right, you see in Omni's
just
run
a
drops
little
the
bit
mech
of it.
like way up top, right?
Yeah. I can take it down, but really the only reason to have your mech down there is, for example, if you want that heal. And in a lot of cases, you don't need the heal to continue on in this stage, so it's secondary.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a new video you listed, because I was just using the old one and just advancing to stage 3. That's why I'm parking it in that corner. Also, I take lots of damage, so... yeah.
Yep.
It's certainly the safer approach if you can support it.
So there was a question from Billy Nihilist in the chat who asked, will the pausing work on the gun, or is the sword the only thing that it works on?
It works on anything that has a constant damage rate.
Great.
So it will not work on gun, because those are one frame only. But any melee weapons, a lot of environmental effects will work like that. So things that kind of function on a per frame basis will all do it.
But the bullets don't? Is it just because the bullet's consumed as soon as it hits something?
Yes, the bullets despawn as soon as they actually hit, so it doesn't count as an actual item anymore at that point.
I wonder what would happen if you pause it on the exact frame that the bullet hit. I mean, it's dealing damage
Nothing.
for one frame.
Nope, it's dealing damage for one frame, but then basically the flag that says that it's still there is gone, so it stops doing damage after that.
Oh, really? You're certain that you can't pause it on just that frame? Huh.
Yeah, I've tried a bunch. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work out.
Okay. What about these rockets, these shoulder rockets? Can you pause glitch on those?
I don't remember if they have a constant frame window or not, and I'm pretty sure that they don't.
Okay.
Cancel out of the switch.
Oh, I just lost my arms.
Ooh, he's armless now. Yep, so that's what happens. Damage in this game, there's no health indicator. What you look at is the color of your mech. Your mech starts to get more purplish or darker colored as you take more damage. It goes through, I think we said, between 6 or 8 different shades of color. And the final, like the second to last form, you see the robot starts to spark. Little flames will come out of it. And the final form, when you're at your lowest health, your mech's arms will fall off and you can't attack anymore. You just walk around ineffectively.
What is important to note is that if you start to spark, then you can't use your shoulder weapon or utility thing anymore either. So it's really bad to get down to that point if you are intending to use rockets, for example.
Yeah, and as we've seen, rockets are probably the most useful shoulder-mounted weapon that you can get.
Yeah, they just do an incredible amount of damage. I think it's on the order of like 50 damage. As a point of reference, every frame that your sword is connecting, I believe it does 4 damage, and your shots do 2.
Okay, so that's far and above everything else.
Yes.
Huh.
And just the fact that they can clear a lot of different types of terrain is very good.
Yeah, we saw Theseawolf right there putting the rockets to good use, taking out these, what we were calling them grapefruit turrets, taking out these giant orange ball turrets. And the reason why he takes them both out at once and then goes to the lower platform is these rockets only have a limited time usage. Once you start using them, they will last for, I think, probably about 10 seconds or so. And then
that's about right.
Yeah. So you got once you start using them, you got to get all your uses in.
Okay.
but it's exceptionally helpful for this goal because I think it really, assuming you get it on your first try drop, it lets you get through those turrets much quicker.
First or second, and either one you can make it pretty useful.
First or second, right? There's two that are not out of the way.
So right, we can see Error just picked it up on his second, and this is kind of what I was mentioning a little bit earlier while they were practicing, is that fall, that shaft that you're trying to go through with the grenades that are kind of stuck in the floor is very tricky to make sure that you can get through without triggering the grenades. It's very much like you have to line up with the right side of the wall and then just kind of fall straight through. But it's unlikely that you're going to be able to set that up in a, well, without practicing it rather extensively.
We see the pause glitch in action. Error slashing with his sword,
Damn.
and then pausing while that enemy's glowing. And
Yep.
you don't get any kind of visual cue or audio cue about how long you're supposed to keep it paused. It's just muscle memory. You have to time it out mentally.
Yeah, when I was routing this out, I could actually watch the memory values for their HP, and so I kind of got a feel from that about like when to stop. But still in a run, it's very much like you have to keep it up to your own memory of about how good it is,
Right.
and work from that.
Well, we have Error's 135 up there on the board, but he has just now gotten a 133. I think for best possible times, we're looking at about 130. That's the time that we see in the world record run. But that's not to say that it's the best possible time, because that's taken from, a run that has to go through all the other levels as well. But it's a good benchmark, because this is, that's a person who's been playing the game for quite a while.
I don't actually remember whether I got rockets in my run or not either, which will have a significant play in it.
Mm-hmm. Take a look. I actually have your video right here.
Brains. Did I mix up the
Oh, you got gravity.
frame counts?
Yeah, it looks like in your run you got gravity.
Okay. Yeah, I think an optimal time is probably still another 5 or 6 seconds better if I only got gravity and not rockets.
Right.
But there's still a lot of cleaning that can happen just from optimizing movement, and just watching them as they go through it, they're definitely picking it up more about like when to press certain things and how to set up for, say,
I saw one.
getting down into the
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're gonna see
Going too
something cool
fast.
coming up.
Oh,
So
do
this
those too.
text, yeah, there it is. This text, if you advance through the text too quickly, there's a couple of frames where you might end up soft locking the game just by being too fast. It's cruel, but that's how this game is.
And the only reason there's 2 text boxes in the game where that can happen, and this is one of them. And the reason that happens is that the end of the text sequence is an instruction that basically tells the game to continue on except change the music. And if you skip over that, it doesn't change the music and it just waits. And it's waiting for the music to change and it never does, so it's just hanging out.
Alright, we got some comparison videos up there. We're comparing right now to not even Error's most recent run, because that's still being timed, but should be a little something.
Yeah, I'm still going through a couple of runs because one run that Error did a couple of runs back, he had the screen go white about when it was supposed to fade out. So I'm trying to figure out exactly when
There's
the
no hole.
timing
You
should
should
be.
throw it up.
I may just change the timing end to when mission complete actually fits together, because that is constant.
That's fine.
How's that even a thing? I blew up the back turret and it didn't open up.
The message that you see on Seawolf's screen is actually the one that you're overwriting by going and talking to the computer.
Yeah.
And it just kind of confuses the game about the order that it should be progressing in.
So instead of opening up the ship like a tin can, it just said, "Nah, that's all right." Like when you get a soda and the tab pops off. Or Capri Sun, and it's Capri Sun. Gravity.
Well, I got my mech stolen.
Oops. Ah.
Stolen mech.
That.
Ah, missed the back gun twice.
Dude, scientist. No, totally missed it. No, missed that too. Ah, what a waste. No,
Wow.
garbage.
Seawolf really having a hard time with this run. Yeah, you lose a lot of time if you. It's
Yeah,
it's
you
not
missed that
it-
one.
If you miss that one corridor there, it doesn't even seem like it should be a hard part of the run. You're just falling down a shaft and then you go off one of the side chutes. But just the timing, there's such a delay between when you start to move after using these rockets.
One thing is I
Yeah,
didn't nail
it-
that rocket shot every time. That's
It is just very. You need to develop cues basically on when to start pressing for the vernier to be active, and when it'll actually let you go in. And if you're off by a little bit, then it's not going to be perfect. But you have ways to approximate it too, just by basically rapidly pressing it until you get to a point where you're kind of okay with it.
Okay, so that run that I was talking about where everything was going white, there is zero possible chance that I would have been able to get this. The frame that Mission Complete comes together is 5474, and the frame that fade out happens is 128 frames later, which is 5602. And the frame 5602, it is still partially white, so you can't actually see that the fade out is happening until 5 frames later.
Oh, weird.
So
Can you just turn
I'm
off a
just
layer?
gonna-
You can disable layers in S9X. You just
Let me
disable whatever's making it
check.
white.
There we go. Woohoo.
Alright, so it looks like we got a completed run from Seawolf. The time on that is fade out 130. Yeah, 134 is what we're seeing.
Wow, very tight.
So
That's
pretty
impressive.
close. Error's
surprised.
best run is a 130.63, and
I had
you're-
slop again in the elevator shaft. So
right,
again,
yeah,
it was
only a
the
couple
same.
seconds off, and Seawolf already knows where he can take time out of the run.
Rockets, yes. I keep nailing that shot. It's like starting to scare me now. Dude, rockets, please. Do your job. Ah. No, you don't. Mine. Ooh, that's smooth.
I'm leaving my mech from up top from now on.
Probably a
I'm not taking as much damage as I do in the rocket strat, which I wasn't doing earlier, so I can get away with it now.
Yep. And yeah, those bombs that you see as you go through, those do per frame damage, and that's particularly why you take any major amount of damage prior to that point at all. Is just basically running into the bombs really messes with your HP. don't avoid them well.
I lost time with that damn thinking about it. Here we go.
What happened there?
No, I didn't submit it. Oh, I hit R. I had 132 and change. I didn't submit. I'm an idiot.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Well, but that's what your PB is. We got it up on the board now. 132.03 is what arc timed your last run out to be.
Okay, so that was actually faster then. So,
Yeah,
oh
maybe.
no, that's worse. No, I feel worse.
Yeah, none of the background layers turn off the fade.
Oh, that's too bad.
Fade out to white.
Damn. What a waste. That was a good. That was a perfect run too, almost.
Yeah, I'm just changing it to when mission complete comes together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go ahead and change the goal text and everything. Go ahead and do that, yeah.
Okay.
So I was about to say that 130 is like, wow.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It's like I didn't split. Did I really split that late? But no, it's just the changing of the timing.
Yes. I'm going to change the other Metal Warriors goal as well
Alright, thanks.
to be consistent.
All right. Everybody out. Make it. Made it. I lost time because of the when it transitions to almost game overing, the game locks up like for 2 seconds. Alright, it's still a little bit better. Maybe changing the actual timing too is probably shorter than I thought. By the way, Theseawolf, how much time do we have left?
You got 7 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Oh wow, that's actually more than I thought. Surprise, surprise. Nailed it. Oh, I missed.
Oh, no.
Oh. No! Havoc, you jerk. You ruined everything.
Sorry about that. I accidentally deleted your stream, Seawolf. We'll be back in a second.
Oh, whatever.
I apologize.
Being erased. Whatever.
I hit the wrong button. You've been erased.
See if that last one was an improvement.
Oh, nice.
It's okay. Seawolf was still going. I can see it.
Right. Okay, but yeah, here we have on the board Error with a 130.6 and Seawolf with a 131.7, so just barely over a
you
second.
jerk. You son of a bitch.
So incredibly close.
You stole my jack and got locked into the wall.
Oh, there he is. Oh, he stole his... Wow, he did. He's locked. He's stuck there. Serves him right.
What he gets for stealing my jack. I was saying jack's on my war machine. Hoi.
I've lost like 3 good rounds to my mech being stolen like that.
That's the first time it's had to be so far in the actual not practice. But I was gonna make it first, and I shot on reflex, and he's like, "Oh shoot, I'll go that way." It's like, oh, never mind. Alright, I'll try being a hero. I got a lot of damage on me though. That's not gonna help. Nope, that is not R. That's the opposite of health. That is gravity.
Oh, yeah, that drop was not a health drop.
I'm still on stage 7, 8. I should be able to make it and destroy that thing before. No, I just lost the arms again. That last shot took my arm off.
Yep, you need your arms. Oh, there it was. Right before he could slash that turret, he lost his arms.
Stupid destructible machines.
A lot of damage there.
That's what I get for being destructible. Nope. That one I erased by accident was like a 132 with the old timing. That probably been 130. That stinks. Oh well. Hey! Oh, missed.
Well, you got almost 4 minutes to get an even better run on the board.
Will do.
I'm trying, man. I've been trying for the last 20 minutes.
All right.
Call him on the coffee break. No, 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 no! You jerk. He did it again.
All right, let's see what happened. And there he is. He goes for the mech.
Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Oh, I fired my rocket way too early. That's not good.
Yes. See, the problem there is that Seawolf just activated his rockets by firing that one, and it's going to run out before he needs to use it.
And these guys, being shot, those guys like locks your gravity in place. Like you just like shoot, 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 and you can't fly upwards anymore.
Yep.
You can't move when they're being shot.
Look at that, getting locked in. Uh-oh.
I got shot from behind too by somebody. I killed the Havoc. I don't know what was shooting back there. James Woods, huh? That's a new one.
Yes, he is.
You got me. I have a few regrets. Notably, John Carpenter's Vampires. It seems goofy when I'm doing the front there, mashing my jump at the start. I'm trying to, as for Omni, pressing B doesn't increment the RNG. So I'm trying to mix up a bit and get rockets.
Yeah, that will affect it a bit. Just however much you press B. There's also a period of time before the blackness where you're actually moving. So like at the stage start, if you're holding forward, you will move forward.
Yeah.
So definitely being aware of that is important too.
Got him. Oh god, that's a waste of space. Second loss of that. It's mine away from me. There he is. I saw him. I saw him. No, you don't.
He was going for the neck. He went back and
Oh, no,
took
you
him
don't.
out.
Not
At
this
the
time.
cost of a couple of seconds, at least he saved his mech from being stolen. He can make that time up just by not missing this fall down the elevator shaft.
Yep.
In theory.
Or I could miss it. That works too.
Or you could miss it. Yeah, that works too. And yep, right past it. So right there's pretty much sealing his fate coming into that first dialogue at 103. He probably wants to be talking to that at like 56 seconds, I think. 55 seconds talking to that first turret.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Dude, get out of my face. He has no way. 8, 9.
Right. So the time that Seawolf's trying to beat
Yeah.
just came and went.
Here's you, mech thief.
Alright, well it is last call, guys. This is your last chance to reset your runs. Otherwise you're stuck with them.
Come on, rocket.
And that's it. We are now in sudden death mode.
That's not rocket. Come on, rocket.
That's not rocket either.
Oh, Error taking his last
Hey,
reset.
that's a rocket.
Does not get the drop that he wanted. And he says, forget it. Error's done. He's going to go out and do a little fly around here, explore some of the level, work on getting that 100% record. Theseawolf, meanwhile, still going. I'm not sure if he's on PB pace still or
Probably not, because I had to go for rocket number 2. I couldn't get my actual first rocket.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost too much time to have to go on and get the second rocket, especially so long as you still get the rocket.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
he's-
and you also had gravity, so that saved a bit of time going up the shaft. You may have cancelled the time loss from picking up the rocket.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
No.
Wait for it. He's getting knocked
Pushback.
back. He's getting all this pushback. I think he paused too far to the
garbage.
right.
Garbage.
Yep. And it all
I blame
went,
myself.
It all went pear-shaped at the end. Oh, he's got a zippy robot over there. He's got a zippy mech on Error's screen. This is Sonic the
That's the
Mech.
Havoc. That is probably the bot that you end up using the second most time.
No. The core. It's so close.
Boom, didn't even complete the mission. So right there what happened was he needed to get this ship docked before the core exploded, and the one that he's not defending when he should be. And he didn't quite get it. So it looks like... Well, it looks like that's the end of our match. Errors 130.6 reigns supreme here. Theseawolf with a 131.7 on the board.
Well done.
Really close. Good job, guys.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got that close to the actual proper time.
Yeah, very close. This is about a 130 is what we saw in OmniGamer's record run of this. That's what he got. So cool to see these guys get up to that point with just an hour of practice of this.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Good job, guys.
Yes, well done.
Yeah. And this is a great game. I really recommend people play this. It's a tough one. It's got quite a learning curve to it, but it is as cool as it looks. It's not really... There's nothing that bad about the controls, really.
The limited continues is probably the biggest major turnoff from it, is just winding up in a position where you can't retry as much as you'd like unless you're using save states or something.
Yeah,
Also
there was
the price.
also the
cost might be
price.
a
It
stop
is an
as well.
expensive game.
Oh yeah, getting a real copy of this game is certainly an ordeal too.
Right. But yeah, definitely a fun game, worth checking out. And I guarantee you we'll have this game on the show again in the future, because there's a lot of levels that we still haven't even touched. So look forward to more Metal Warriors. This game is going to be run during the SNES Superstars Marathon.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in to see that if you want to see OmniGamer show us all how it's done.
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I can remember enough and don't get trolled terribly along the way.
Yeah.
Just be terrified the whole time. Don't soft lock, don't soft lock, don't soft lock. Games like that just scare me.
Well, it looks like that's it for our show today. If we want to go through a
See
little...
what these generators look like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually haven't seen them, like... Yeah, I'm not sure what they look
Yeah,
like.
the generators are supposed to be defending. But I'll just go through a quick recap of our matches here.
Where are they at?
There we go.
Did you break them?
You see in the first match, Error won that one. Mikey in second place, and Theseawolf in third. And then unfortunately, Mikey, due to an injury, had to bow out of our other two matches. But that was the score for our first Metal Warriors match. Then we did some Cool Spot. There we go. We see Error beating Theseawolf by 207 to 231. So Cool Spot was that was a pretty tricky game to get the hang of. And here we have this match we just finished, where Error beats out Theseawolf by the narrowest of margins in Mech Warriors Stage 3. And that's it. That's all the SGL we've got. We're going to come back again Thursday evening. We're going to do mystery matches starting about 7 or so Eastern Time. We're going to have people come together and do some mystery matches of various games. I don't know yet what system it'll be. We'll see. We really do want to try to do a Game Boy episode, so that might happen. And then we'll be back next Saturday afternoon, and we'll have some more games for you. So tune into those. And that's about all I got. You guys, I didn't give you a bonus game, but
That's right. I had to take a break.
I
Press the
kind
old
of
hand.
figured you'd need a break from all this.
You know, I'll rest the hand and get back to Big 20 practice in a little bit.
You're doing Big 20, that's right. Error, you're not doing Big 20, is that right?
Nope. I'm
But-
not.
You were a participant in the Zelda 2 tournament, got 3rd place in that, right?
Hey,
Second.
Second place? Wait, because you
the upsell.
I
didn't.
beat-
Oh,
I
you
beat
beat
JN,
JN.
it
You
was
beat.
just fine.
I'm sorry, you're right. Second place in the Zelda 2 tournament. I can't. I was even casting the match. I'm sorry. I completely
You cast a lot of
misspoke.
matches, I imagine.
Yeah, I missed. Lost 30 seconds on Eco Key and missed PB by 8. So
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing run. You were just like 6 seconds away, or 6 to 8 seconds away from your PB. Pretty fantastic run. That's right. I remember this now.
then the match was simple. You know, I kind of failed miserably. But you know,
It happens. That happened to me in my match. I completely choked away every opportunity to win and then lost by 1.8 seconds. So good. We'll see a little bit of claymates. This is a goal I hope to have on SGL soon. We just need to have Error not be involved in the match, and we might actually get claymates. It's funny because we don't. I always put it in the voting list only when Error's on there. When Error's not on the show, it doesn't go in the list.
yeah, I keep vetoing it.
You should.
What are you afraid
You
of?
should. I'm sorry. I
It's a
keep
cool
forgetting.
spot. What more is there to be afraid of? We've done some.
Well, I veto it because I've been routing this game,
Oh, okay, that's different. I thought you were afraid of it.
which I haven't done very much of. But I'm the one who submitted the goals. I submitted the goals for this for the
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I got
for
that
the
problem.
SGL tournament.
I had that problem with Demon's Crest. It always pops up when I'm on. Like, oh, Demon's Crest, that'd be a great game to play, except I could, do it with my eyes
Yeah, I
closed.
don't want Wee.
It's Spanish? Oh, yeah, okay, there's Spanish. Yeah, mouse barking. Like Evo. So goopy. Wow, you get really fast. Huh.
Claymates. Weird game.
Yeah. Fuse. A barking Sonic Speed mouse currently right now. You just got meat ground to a sausage made of diamonds, and they came back and picked them all up.
This is weird.
I'm confused. Oh,
Yeah.
I just
Has it-
activated the in-game warp the world too.
Cape Claynaveral. Huh.
It's very punny.
I know that.
This game gives off a bit of what is it? Jelly Boy? No, Smart Ball. No,
Oh, Smart Ball. No, there's Smart Ball.
Smart Ball. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Smart Ball was where you can be the ball and you can stretch across like platforms.
Yeah, you stretch on platforms.
I think that was it. Smart Ball. There's On the Ball, which is basically a
Right.
port of Camel Tree.
Right. That's Camel Tree.
You just punch that loot in the face.
Super
I
Putty.
did.
Super
Super
Putty
Putty,
is
okay.
I think that's what I'm getting the vibe of. Super Putty. Ooze Garden.
Weird, like random
my
arbitrary
mouse.
overworld.
Look at that duck.
Lost my run speed, and then yeah.
There's that game in Kid Ninja. I mean, that's where it has like that weird overworld, like just things happen to you randomly.
Oh, Ninja Kid.
Yeah,
It's got a weird overworld. That's true.
the whole game's weird, but yeah, the overworld's definitely weird.
Yeah.
Then you climb up a elevator shaft and fight like a giant head. I don't know, it's very odd.
forgot how to climb on the walls because the cat. And then they put enemies in the slide. It's awful.
Wow. Jerks. Alright, I'm gonna grab some dinner / lunch / whatever. Take a little break, then do some B20 practice. I'll be signing off. Plus, I want to spell myself in this game in case it comes up later.
Got how to play this game.
I like that fish's strut.
Oh yeah, none of the transformations can swim except
A
the
fish.
fish. So if I fall in the water as anything other than the fish, oh
least-
why I still had iframes.
The ball can swim.
As anything other than the fish.
Yeah, the cat can't swim. The ball can swim. This is a horrifying thing. Imagine like you're in town one day and this big blue ball appears and starts punching stuff. No context. Just a bowling ball with an attitude. Wow.
A ball with the fist. The Adventures of Ball Fist.
Great. Where you guys walking away?
I like this overworld. This weird, like
Yeah, it's a
block
puzzle
pushing.
right
yeah.
now. I've got to get the robots to the bomb so they can blow up the rocks.
Hurting robots.
Yeah.
That old expression, like
That's
hurting
included in
robots.
one of the goals that I gave you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
Are they speeding up themselves? Or are they speeding up just because of something else? How strange. Alright. Well, I'll leave the call going until you guys are done. I'm going to hop off myself.
Okay, thanks, Seawolf. Nice work today.
Of course, thank you, thank you. I was glad to be on.
Glad to have you.
See you all around later. I'm
Bye-bye.
not going to stream my practice or not because it's going to be ugly. Ugly,
Okay.
ugly, ugly. Good night, folks.
See you, Seawolf.
Later.
Bye-bye. Bungle Jungle.
Oh wait, the coconuts are bad. It's like I'm playing I Want to Be the Guy.
Coconuts are bad news. Look at those things, wow.
Alright, go for time.
Ooh, look at that gopher. That cloud sprite looks really strange. It looks like it was like a 3D rendered thing that they turned into sprites.
It's a bottomless pit. Oh. Ooh, what's down here? The trap! That's what it is. Way to not jump. It's okay though.
So you're trying to spell the word clay?
Clay gets me to a bonus level.
Hmm.
Not that in a speedrun I'd ever want to go to the bonus level.
But your all bonus levels run. Oh, here we have another robot block pushing puzzle. Are you pressing a button to speed the robots up?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know you could do that whenever you wanted. Oh, interesting. Okay, we
Forget
got...
how to actually solve the puzzles. It's been a while. If they get stuck, I can punch them to go back to start.
Wow, what an odd game.
It's a game I'm considering speedrunning for better or worse.
So your goal
Probably
here...
worse.
Yeah, for the worse. But your goal here, I guess, is to get the robot to walk over the axe so that he gets an axe, and then to walk into the tree that you want to chop down.
Yes. Forget how to solve this one. It's there. Whatever. I've had enough. So, because it is 6 o'clock and I'm hungry.
That's right, it's time to eat. Okay, well, thanks for being on the show. Congratulations. Winner of all 3 of our matches tonight.
Winner!
Yeah. Alright, cool. Well, thanks.
Anyway, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks for keeping me out of randomizer race so I wouldn't lose horribly.
Good. Yeah. Cool. And also thank you to OmniGamer, who provided some great commentary during this episode. Thanks very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Sure, we'll try to... You suggested a whole bunch of different goals, and we'll try to get you back on the show again to commentate some other matches.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Alright. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. Check us out Thursday evening, and again next Saturday afternoon. Don't forget, we've got the SNES Superstars Marathon coming up. I'll put the link to that in the chat. And we also have the Blaster Master Tournament happening in late March. March 21st is when that begins. So get yourself ready for that. Oh, there's the link. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.